I digress.
Oh, Sam, nice shirt, dude. Rocking the tri-captains. Poor Louisville, though. All right, you guys ready to go?
Fucking
Duska, how you
Yeah,
horrible.
feeling?
let's do it.
Ready to go?
I'm feeling great. Yeah,
Yeah. Arch,
yeah.
law school treating you well?
About as good as it can.
Harry, off of a Veterans Day off day, how we feeling?
Great.
Yeah.
Back to corporate America tomorrow.
All right, sweet. It snowed today in Pennsylvania, so
Beautiful.
yeah. I was listening to some Christmas music this morning. Brad Paisley came out with a
Sure.
Christmas album. Tell you what, that guy knows how to play guitar. Um,
Still a little too early for me on the Christmas music front.
dude, it snowed today. I had to. I had to.
Snow is a good. Yeah, that's a
What
good.
was I
That's a
supposed to
valid
do?
reason too.
What was I
Yeah,
supposed to do?
yeah, that's valid.
So, yeah. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 16th edition of the Forward Pass podcast. We've got Luke Duska, Caleb Archer, and Sam Perry on the scene to discuss this Week 11 college football. So on this episode, we're going to recap a bunch of the Week 11 happenings, and as well as we're going to do some Week 12 previews. So here's what we got on the dock, and we've got some Big Ten talk. We got a lot of good Big Ten games this week. We had some Indiana, Penn State, Oregon, Iowa. We'll touch a little Wisconsin, Washington, sadly for
Mm.
Archer. Um, we'll then move into some chatter about Auburn giving Vandy an OT scare in Nashville. Auburn's offense had life. Shout out the Buford quarterback, is it Ashton Daniels, Arch? Am I saying it right?
Mm-hmm.
Ashton Daniels having himself a day. We've got Texas Tech, who just beat the dog shit out of BYU in Lubbock. Tulane beat Memphis in a huge G5 matchup. Cal, Louisville was a great game at Louisville. Cal ends up winning in overtime on a gutsy fourth down call on the goal line. The ACC is wide open, and we'll talk about we'll get there later in the pod. We'll do Superdog RB of the week. Plus, we have a great slate of previews headlined by Pitt, Notre Dame, Alabama, Oklahoma, and Georgia, Texas. Do we want to start with Indiana, Penn State, and the late game heroics of Mendoza, Charlie Becker, and Omar Cooper? Duska, you want to give your thoughts first?
Sure. Yeah. Penn State. Credit to them for actually having some fight. 5 losses in a row would be easy to pack it in at this point, but it's good to see those seniors have some pride and they want to go out the right way. I guess I don't know if that's the right way to describe it, but obviously their season's not going to live up to the expectations that they had before, but going out and giving the number 2 team in the country hell, I think they deserve a lot of credit for that after everything they've gone through. It's also ironic though that they kind of blew this game in typical Penn State fashion in the same way. And it's kind of insane that they've lost 6 games in a row with all the preseason hype and everything.
0-6 in the Big Ten, dude.
Insane. Who nobody I
They
don't care
are
what
they
anyone
are
says.
dead
Nobody
last
saw this coming.
with
Yeah.
Purdue. Dead last
Not a
with Purdue.
soul saw it coming. And I just think on the losers first, obviously. So talking a little Penn State, I think it would be somewhat cool if they were able to climb out of the dungeon that they're currently in and fight for bowl eligibility. It's definitely possible with the remaining schedule. They have Michigan State and I think they play Rutgers and one other team. It might be like Maryland or something, but it's very doable. And I think that the seniors going out can hang their hat on that at least. Becoming bowl eligible, potentially even winning a bowl game after everything they've gone through. And then on the Indiana front, finally saw a little vulnerability out of them. They had a lot of trouble running the ball. Definitely makes things tougher for Mendoza when they do that. You saw a little bit of that in the Iowa game as well. But the last drive of the game, he was unbelievable and just so dialed, making all the throws. And then the catch by Omar Cooper to seal the game had to be one of the best catches I've ever seen. Somehow he gets his foot down inbounds before his other foot touches. And yeah, just for me, recency bias, obviously, but that's one of the best catches I've ever seen in college
Also,
football history
do
with
you
everything, like with all the context surrounding it. It's unbelievable.
do you know the how high a goalpost is?
I assume it's around 10 feet,
It's
right?
10 feet. Yeah, it's like you're
Yeah.
dunking.
Yeah.
He dunked the ball above the rim and
It was
then
unbelievable.
somehow came down while he's getting pushed out of bounds. Uh, I believe the word for that in exercise science is called proprioception, or your body's ability to move in space. So what great proprioception from
Unbelievable.
Omar Cooper.
There was another catch. It's not, I'm blanking on it right now, but it was in another game where like a guy sneaky got his foot down and it was pretty unbelievable. But
Oh,
it'll come
Iowa.
back.
Was it Iowa on the
I
sideline, like the chest catch where like he's hovering on the sideline and like
and he gets his like left foot down.
yes,
I
yeah,
think so. I think it might be that game.
yeah.
But just, I mean, insane catch and great win for Indiana, showing a little grit, showing that they can come from behind, which they haven't really had to do a ton of. And yeah, just Mendoza, the guy's just a stud. And we're going to talk about Cal later. They got another quarterback too, so the football gods look fondly upon them when with Mendoza departing. They got a stud true freshman, but the guy is just unbelievable, and it's cool to see Kurt Signetti just maximize the talent that they have in that building when the talent composite doesn't really match up to some of the other big dogs. They just find ways to win, and then they also just beat the shit out of teams as well. So
Also,
credit to
two
them.
cool names from Cal. They go from Mendoza to Sagapolatelli.
JKS.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I mean, I thought, okay, one guy I'd like to shout out is Charlie Becker, who had a honey bun, so over 100 yards receiving. He's the backup X for like Elijah Surratt, who did not play. He is, in my opinion, one of the best. If he's not the best receiver in the Big Ten, he's a top 3 receiver in the Big Ten. So Indiana was going without them, and Charlie Becker stepped up so many times in the last drive. He just went up and got balls. He was number 80. Dude, that guy played unbelievable. But yeah, I think Duska. One parallel I made to the SEC was like Penn State is the SEC's version of Florida, where obviously the team is pretty much dead. Their coach is fired. But the talent composite is really high, and there's NFL guys all over the roster, especially at edge for Penn State. The edges were a problem in that game. Because Indiana could not run the ball, they got to pin their ears back and kind of go after Mendoza. But yeah, the Penn State is kind of the SEC's version of Florida, where it doesn't matter. This game is always going to be hard at Death Valley when they're an underdog. Like although Indiana, like it was a ton of, obviously Ohio State beats the brakes off of Penn State in the shoe, and Indiana barely escapes uh at Penn State. I don't think you can use transitive property and be like, well, Ohio State did this to Penn State, and so Indiana should be doing that. These playing teams like Penn State and Florida, who are laced with talent, but maybe they're just haven't had that great a season and they're kind of a dead team. Playing them at home versus away is completely different. So yeah, I think we shouldn't be using transitive property, but that was just what a fight from Indiana and Sig's guys. So they keep it alive.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised that everyone kind of wrote this game off so quickly during the week. I feel like we maybe it was off air, but kind of talked about how we thought that Penn State might get one of these Indiana and Ohio State games, or at least play up, just because, like you guys were saying, the overall talent composite, like they're going to have a game where everything clicks. And I feel like I thought that this was going to happen, and I'm surprised that people didn't give this game that much of a thought because of that. Um, and then just to kind of like outside of the game itself, I think what makes our Penn State watchability and our disdain for Penn State so fun is when they're good. And it's so fun watching them year after year do the same thing at the end. And I just feel like that's not the same this year when they keep losing. And I actually kind of like feel bad a little bit. It's never fun when you have these historically good programs completely crap out like Penn State has.
Really?
But what
You're not having any fun.
I like it when the blue bloods are better. Like I like when Penn State's better when they're completely irrelevant.
Then me and you are just, I guess we just feel differently about the program.
Fair, but I also pissed because they were my super dog, and I thought I was going to get. All right, that's the second heartbreaker in a row for my super dogs. But another thing, I think that this is going to pay massive dividends for Indiana down the road. especially just gutting a game out like this when you don't maybe not have your best. You're on the ropes the whole game and you got it out. That is going to be huge for them in the playoff. And the last thing might be times we have a conversation about Gus Johnson. He was horrible calling the
Ah,
game. Like, are you
dude,
kidding me?
he,
Maybe the
dude, the insane voice like cracks it in inflections.
like the best play of the year is butchered by a horrible announcing call. I thought that he was really bad, and even on that Singleton big run in I think it was the fourth quarter, he botched that too. He was a little bit too much for me in that game, but credit to Indiana for sticking it out. A lot of our friends were at that game, so congratulations to our IU conglomerate for surviving and advancing another week.
Yeah. Chuck already highlighted him, but I thought honestly the more impressive. Well, obviously Omar Cooper's catch was insane, but that Charlie Becker one to kind of get them in that position where he like that was probably the craziest catch I'd seen that day. And then
Sickening.
2 plays later, um, his teammate makes an even like a better one given the circumstances. But I mean, Indiana found a way. I mean, I had my eye on this game, didn't really care too much what happened, and then you kind of seen like the third quarter, you're like, oh, Penn State's making a game. And I think y'all are spot on. This is, I believe, between Indiana's regular season, between Oregon and Penn State, these are the only 2 games they play with like a team's blue chip ratio above 50%, which blue chip, I believe, is 4 and 5 stars. So it's not surprising. I
Does that
guess
mean they
Indiana will
have?
struggle.
Does that mean their
Mhm.
roster consists of 50% 4 and 5 stars?
Yeah, 50% or
Okay.
more, 4 or 5 stars. I saw something from Bud Elliott, a guy on CBS that was talking about this after. So I guess it's not surprising that Indiana struggles. These are the best composite teams like that they're going to see. It kind of reminds me the same way last year. I believe Michigan gave Indiana a really good game last year. After Indiana was like steamrolling everybody else. So it's not surprising, but like Chuck was saying, Sig finds a way. I don't see them slowing down until the Big Ten championship when they will play Ohio. I don't know if that's confirmed yet, but they're probably going to play Ohio State.
At
So
this point, it's all but confirmed.
yeah, so I think it'll be interesting to see. I believe like Vegas would make that game like Ohio State pretty small favorite, but I don't see a way that this Indiana team, if like the way that they respond to these like when they face teams that have like these blue chip ratios. I'll be interested to see how they respond against an Ohio State team that has the blue chip ratio, but like Penn State, but also has like high level coaching and a bunch of other things to go along with that. So, but it was a good gritty win for Indiana. Good to see them actually be able to pull out these close games, like when you didn't see that last year.
Was it a Mendoza Heisman moment? Heisman drive?
Uh,
Well, okay, let's say I feel like that helped his Heisman case.
oh, for sure. I don't. I just find it hard to the Heisman moment. I don't know, because but I mean it is a good case for it.
No,
No one else has really had one yet this
what
year.
moment have we seen?
I mean, dude, you don't have to have like a moment, I'd say.
No, I'm not saying you do. I'm just asking. I mean, dude, honestly, I can remember a lot of the Heisman winners. Like I can remember a moment. Like I can remember
I
Devontae
agree.
Smith. I can remember Devontae Smith, like some of the catches he made and be like, "Ooh, Heisman moment." I remember Travis Hunter. Like I don't know.
Burrow against Georgia.
Hmm?
That
Oh yeah,
Burrow play against
Burrow.
Georgia.
Yeah. So like I remember. So I do feel like it
But
helps
also but
when you
what
play
about your
just good
Heisman
games.
argument from last week that it
Huh.
didn't matter that Julian Sayin lit up Penn State's defense?
I didn't say that.
Yeah, that's fair.
I did not say that.
You said that it wasn't
I
that
mean,
impressive because
No,
Penn
no, no,
State's
no, no, no.
defense wasn't good.
No, I've said they haven't played anyone. I'm just asking, like, are we just gonna count the Penn State when they're again? But here's the thing: is that a good faith argument? Because Penn State's two different teams at Happy Valley versus in the shoe. So I'm not saying it's not. I'm not saying it's not impressive what Julian Sand was doing. I was just saying they haven't played a game under a 21 point. They haven't played. They haven't beat anybody by less than 21 points since Texas. So like, what are we getting out of all these games?
I I want to. I mean, this kind of has to do with the Heisman race as well, but if we're talking Sane and Mendoza. But I want to ask a question about the Big Ten championship. So Indiana and Ohio State are both undefeated in conference. If Michigan beats Ohio State and Michigan wins out before that, they would be in, right?
I'll look it up.
Well, so Oregon, I know Oregon and USC play as well. So those are the only one-loss teams other than Michigan. So in theory, one of them would have two losses and be out. And then I guess it's a little confusing still. But
It's all the with the new non-divisions, it's all confusing because like they do the common opponent thing, which can get weird. And then some of these conferences, I think the ACC does have these like strength of record metric things. It's confusing, but I guess
Well,
like
Ohio State's would not be very good.
like in conference, I'm trying to look
well,
up
they're
Big
going to
Ten
go undefeated in
standings.
conference if they
But
most
I'm saying if
likely.
they
So
lose to Michigan, I don't think.
yeah. No, they're gonna if Michigan has one conference loss and Ohio State loses to them, they will be eliminated from the Big Ten
Yeah,
championship.
and then if
Yeah.
Indiana wins out, they'd be in.
But I'm saying so Oregon could also win out. So I don't know who would get in, Michigan or Oregon in that scenario.
Ooh,
Or
yeah.
It's gonna
USC
be
can
the
win out
common
as well.
opponent thing. So like, who did Oregon lose to? Indiana. They haven't played.
Yeah.
Well, if
Did
USC
Michigan
wins
lose
out,
to?
Michigan would have the head-to-head.
Michigan lost to USC,
No.
but Oregon
Michigan
beat,
lost to USC.
As I meant,
yeah,
I meant
but
to say
Oregon
USC.
beat
Yeah.
USC, so therefore Oregon
Michigan
would
would okay.
No.
So
Oh yeah.
the common
so there's
opponent
a
thing.
scenario where it could be I think the likeliest is obviously Indiana, Ohio State, but it could also be Indiana, Oregon.
Oregon.
Yeah. Is the second most likely, it seems like.
Yeah, I don't know if they're getting by
Because
USC.
IU only has one conference game left. Right? Or no?
Yeah, they're
No. Okay, they have two. They play 9 in the Big Ten. Forgot about that.
so who do they play?
They play
Purdue.
And
Purdue
Wisconsin
and
and Purdue.
yeah,
Ooh,
so
dude,
they're all but in. Yeah.
dude, huge matchups. Well, you could get got by Wisconsin. You
Yeah.
ask people in Seattle.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to the next Big Ten game. This was Oregon beating Iowa 18-16 in just a rain smash mouth football game. I loved watching this game. I don't know if you guys saw any of my clips, but I really deep dived. I really enjoyed watching this game. Um, just one macro thing before we get into the game is I do think this week was pretty big for the Big Ten because obviously the conference is not as good as it was last year, and um, it doesn't really compare depth wise to the SEC. Like for example, California is ninth in the ACC, and Minnesota is seventh in the Big Ten, and California has a head-to-head win over Minnesota this year, so the depth of the Big Ten is really poor. Um, but it was cool to see that Kinnick Stadium and Happy Valley are still really hard places to play, and those are always going to be impressive wins. So it was nice to see that like come to fruition, and that was a overall big win for the Big Ten this weekend. So yeah, I mean, I thought Dante Moore, he was kind of battling out there, some injury. Looked like he was like just hobbling around for some of the stuff, but dude, he was awesome. Their defense made some great plays. I thought Iowa looked really good. Like they tackle, they run the ball. They're just a really physical football team, and it's a shame that they don't get as much out of their offense in terms of the forward pass. And it's gotten better. I also honestly agreed with a lot of Iowa's like scheme and game plan. The fumble they had, what Weegan had was kind of a killer, but that was a great play from the freshman cornerback to kind of dislodge that football when he was like playing the D gap. So yeah, I mean this was a really fun football game. Uh, some people won't like this game because it was 18-16. It was kind of low scoring, but this was, and then Dante Moore gets the ball. The building is so juiced, by the way, when Mark Gronowski scores to go up. Like, if you watch the TV copy, the building is electric. I've never seen that. Was so cool to see Kinnick Stadium light up like that. So it's a minute 51 left in the game. Dante Moore gets the ball, and Iowa is juiced. And then, dude, he just puts the dagger in their heart, and that's pretty sick for Dante Moore to go do that. And yeah, I mean, it really came down to like, hey, we have a better quarterback than you, and in football, a lot of the times that will do it. That will do it, especially when you're like even in the turnover battle and um, yeah. And Oregon is decimated with injury. I mean, they're top three receiver. They're down their top three receivers. Uh, DeCorian Moore, he's been out. Evan Stewart got injured early in the year, and then Gary Bryant got hurt on like his first catch of the game in the first quarter. So they're down their top three receivers, and they're just like they had some true freshmen out, like just true freshman kid like running around. I mean, their running back room isn't as healthy. So, dude, shout out Oregon getting this win.
They're
This is really impressive.
they're also missing Sadiq
Oh,
and
dude, yes.
they're starting right tackle as well. So they're
I
just
mean,
decimated by
decimated.
injury, which is
What a
crazy.
win. What a win
Coming off
for
a
them.
bye too, which is pretty curious and
Brutal.
kind of funny. But
Big win though.
yeah, awesome win. And it's just like so gritty. And their offensive line was really awesome in this game too. They ran it for 261 yards on 36 carries, over 7 yards a carry. Noah Whittington had 118 yards on 17 carries. And like I mentioned before, they were doing this without arguably their best run blocking offensive lineman, Alex Harkey. So just awesome performance by them, just taking over the line of scrimmage on the road against a team that profiles like Iowa and really makes their money in the trenches and dominating the trenches in games like this. So really impressed with the level of physicality Oregon was able to reach. And that's sort of just the thing that we've been looking for, and most of the questions surrounding Oregon, for me at least, were if their trenches could hold up against these more physical teams. We saw in the Indiana game they struggled a lot to protect Dante Moore, and that wasn't the case in this one. And
Is
I
Isaiah
thought
World the one that's hurt, or is he healthy?
no, Alex Harkey.
Got you. Okay.
Yeah. So World played, but Harkey's also a stud, and he was out.
Mhm.
So and Iowa offensively, I thought they struggled to throw the ball in general. Um, I guess like you're saying, it's a little better. And then they also didn't have a lot of ground support to lean on. Again, credit to Oregon for owning the line of scrimmage. Kamari Moulton, their running back, ran it for less than 4 yards a carry. Their overall rushing numbers were pretty decimated by the bad snap on the punt, which counts against your rushing yards, which I wasn't aware of. That ended up being a safety. But Iowa offensively weren't that bad. They were 8 for 17 on third down, 3 for 4 on fourth down. They had some huge conversions on the Gronowski
Dude, Gronowski
touchdown
keepers.
drive.
The Gronowski
Yeah,
keepers. They were.
dude. Yeah, Gronowski with his legs.
Yeah.
No,
Yep. Yep.
nobody
Yep.
is questioning that
Nope.
strategy. But yeah, Iowa, they just played a really good team here. And the I thought the line of scrimmage was the big difference for Oregon in this one, and it was very encouraging to see that they were able to reach that level on the road in nasty weather conditions and missing a lot of players and also overcoming a red zone turnover from Dante Moore in the first quarter. So a lot of signs were pointing to Iowa in this game, and Oregon was able to turn the tide and pick up a big win.
Dude, also the pick you're talking about, Deshaun Lee, number 8, the corner, made a fantastic play. Like a fantastic play. To intercept the seam ball as a corner. So yeah. Dusty on the graphic, I kind of like explained that play, but yeah, it was a dude, unreal play. They're so well coached on defense, so well coached. I mean, they were kind of giving Oregon fits on third down with that stand up look where like they just are all stood up on the line of scrimmage. So, um, yeah, they're so well coached. They didn't tackle as well, which is kind of why I mean Oregon ran the ball well, but it was rainy and wet. On the Whittington touchdown run, like that big explosive run, they might have missed like four or five tackles on that play. You know what I'm talking about, where he runs over the guy in the end zone. So, but they're well coached.
Sorry, I'm reading the doc.
No, you're good. You're good.
Yeah.
I feel like I think Pate talked about this today yesterday. I feel like if you would have told someone for the game that Iowa was going to win the overall, like, have more total passing yards than Oregon, I think you would most likely assume that Oregon did not win. So I think that's just really impressive, just finding multiple ways to win games.
Bad luck
Um,
set.
and I love too when in games like these sloppy games, like the quarterback struggling, or like you see the same thing in basketball. Sometimes like some teams' best shooters struggling, not hitting everything, and then they just have this huge three. Or in Dante Moore's case, like maybe the throw of the year on that last drive is right in his pocket.
Malik
Um,
Benson, yeah, great throw.
just a beautiful throw, and that just shows how the mental toughness of him. You saw that in the Penn State game. You see it again here, and again, the Big Ten elite surviving and will pay dividends for Oregon down the road after winning these gutsy, ugly, tough games. So credit to them for pulling it out in this one. Also, yeah, like you said, Charlie, I had this in my notes and I saw it on your doc. The stadium was insane. I don't know if it was CBS, the way that their speakers were, but it seemed so loud in there.
So
Like it
much
was
juice.
incredible. So it's either like credit to CBS always does a great job of their broadcast and camera angles and crowd noise, but I mean that was insane, the crowd noise that you could
Dude,
hear through the TV.
the Gronowski touchdown was like deafening.
I know, it was awesome. So
Art, you got something?
No, I mean y'all covered it pretty well. I was going to say it is funny that Gronowski was finally the leading passer for a game. I'm sure that's has not happened since his FCS days, but good fight from Oregon. Pretty sloppy game. Pretty fun game to watch though. Just like one that
Yes.
you knew was going to be just like awful, but you just couldn't take your eyes off of it. But good win for Oregon. Still think they're beatable. As you Iowa could have beaten them if some things went their way. So I'm interested to see how Oregon does like to finish the year. But it was a good win.
Guys, my computer just messed around. Right now, I'm having a problem where like my clicking key will like click for too long and then it'll like highlight things and switch them around. So sorry. Technical difficulties. We're back. Um, I want to kind of talk about the next game. Dude, Auburn Vanderbilt. Arch, you know Ashton Daniels. Tell the pod about Ashton Daniels. He's the
Yeah, he's a
quarterback.
Buford
He's the
legend.
quarterback for Auburn, by the way. He came
Yeah.
in for Jackson Arnold 2 games ago. He starts. He went to Arches High School.
Yeah, he's a Buford legend. Went to Stanford, balled out. He was the Stanford quarterback 2 years ago that led the 20-something point comeback against Colorado. That's in like at like 12 a.m. Eastern time. So he's been around, veteran. I said all summer, and I said this on this pod, I think to them, I was so confused why Jackson Arnold at Auburn was the only quarterback they were talking about when they got Ashton as well. Because I thought there would be a time in the season if the Arnold transfer didn't work out that he'd be playing, and he did, and he gives him a better chance to win, I think. So he's a winner. Just not on Saturday, but he is a winner.
No, he was really good. He threw for over 350 yards. He ran for 89 yards. So he was awesome. And I do think that the Auburn offense looked so much better. I do think they really leaned into Cobb getting right. Cobb's their running back. He's third in the SEC in rushing. I've always really liked him. He's number 23. So I thought they were really good. And um, you know, the interim head coach theory is a real thing. And yeah, Auburn's playing with the interim head coach. You could tell that they were not ready to give up. It looked like Auburn's fans kind of took over the stadium. Did you see that, Sam? They kind of took over Vandy. So it was kind of like a pseudo home game for them. And yeah, shout out to Vanderbilt and really impressive that this is a spot. Your interim head coach, their quarterback's playing amazing. Um, you know, Dusk, I want to bounce something off you. One thing, the game was tied, and there's probably like 2 minutes left. And instead of kicking the field goal and going up three and then giving the ball back to Auburn, they went for it on fourth and like three, didn't get it. Auburn got the ball back anyway. I don't know. At that point, I understand like you're an aggressive football team. That's Clark Lay's thing, but I just thought that was stupid. And
What
uh,
where were they at on the field?
dude, in the red zone, chip shot field goal. But I understand you're not giving them great field position, but I don't know. Again, they end up winning the game in OT, but I did think that was a little bit weird that they didn't just kick the field goal and trust the defense because they had to trust the defense anyway when you miss. So,
Yeah,
um,
100%.
whatever.
Do you think 10-2 Vandy gets in?
Well, they got to beat Tennessee, which I don't know about that.
I'm saying like if
10
if
and
they
2
beat
Vandy
Tennessee,
or 10 and 2 Pitt.
Neither.
Well, 10 and 2 Pitt would be an ACC champ Pitt, so they'd have to.
and beat Notre Dame,
11 and 2
beat
Pitt
Kentucky.
then.
All right. What about 10 and
Well,
3 Pitt?
technically not,
What about
Charlie. They
what
don't
about
control their own destiny.
what about 10 and 3 Pitt with a they lose in they win out but then lose in the ACC championship game.
Or 10-2 Vandy.
10 and 2 Vandy or 11 and 3 Pitt.
Oh, Pitt.
I agree. Yeah. You can't punish them for losing their ACC championship
Are
game.
they losing to Notre Dame in this
But you
scenario
could,
still?
but you
Probably.
could punish them
No,
for
they're not
losing
going to
to
lose.
WVU.
It's game day. We got family boots on the
Dude.
ground.
So I think the question we should be asking is, so Pitt can win the ACC. I think that's their best chance to make. I don't know if another ACC team will make it outside of the champion.
Unless the champion doesn't even make it, which is a huge possibility.
What do you mean?
If Duke
No,
wins.
the champion gets a automatic bid.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
Top
They just don't get an
five.
automatic bye.
No, if Duke wins the ACC, they're not going to.
Yes,
It's
they
going
are.
to be the
That's
other
true.
two G5. It's going to be two G5 teams.
Technically-
Oh, because it's the five
It's
best
the
conference
five
champs.
highest ranked conference
Holy
champs.
shit.
Technically, if Duke ended up winning it and they were like 25th, and then USF was like 20th, and then JMU was like 23rd, technically the American and the Sun Belt would be the 4 and the 5.
Guys,
Oh, no.
is the
ACC nightmare
the ACC
scenario.
will never stand for that. I don't know. I don't think that
The
could
ACC
happen.
would never recover from that.
No,
They would
no.
never.
ACC might cease football operations if that
Yeah.
happens.
So
I mean, Duke is probably still going to get in if they win the ACC, right?
dude,
They're going to.
they
They'd
should
be
go
like
in the
they'd be like
19th
9 and
They have 4 losses.
they'd be like 9-4 if they won the ACC, right?
Yeah, I mean, but they lost.
But
to
dude, they would get
Duke,
hot
unfortunately.
and they would have
No,
to
I
have some
understand.
impressive wins.
It's tough. It's tough, but like they're definitely. Actually, I'm not even going to say they would beat James Madison. That would be a good game, probably.
Yeah. Maybe they should just make it unprecedented play-in game.
But switching back to Vandy. I think at 10-2 with wins over Mizzou, and then Tennessee, and then also, I mean, South Carolina was ranked when they played them.
Yeah,
LSU was ranked when they played them.
Mhm.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
I mean, LSU has a top 5 win against Clemson then.
Yeah.
I don't think the Vandy should be in the playoff at all. I don't think they should sniff it even if they go 10-2. But that's just me.
I am in alliance with you, Arch.
The other
Okay.
thing is, how many 10-2 teams are there going to be?
there could
That's
be
the other
I
question.
think I think there's going to be a lot.
10-2
It's
Michigan
because
or
these
10-2
conferences get so much bigger, and you
10 or
can't
10-2
Vandy.
play
Michigan has a
everybody.
victory over Ohio State, so they would get in.
Yeah, they're over Vandy, right?
Yeah, 100 with a win over Ohio State, yes.
Yeah, but then you get like the 10-2. You could have a 10-2 Vandy, 10-2 Oklahoma, 10-2 Texas,
10-2
Which-
Notre Dame.
And I
10-2 Notre Dame.
dude, give me all 3 of those teams over Vandy.
That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying.
Well, Texas has a head-to-head.
Texas would
10-2 Bama,
okay, well, yeah, like,
Bama
again,
has a
Bama.
head-to-head. Yeah.
which would then have been a 10. Then it also could be a 10-2 Georgia. Like, yeah, it
Georgia.
could be.
The SEC is such a nightmare.
No, dude, such a nightmare. They might go
So,
back to
Notre
Eastern
Dame
West
might be the one that gets bounced if there's that many 10-2 SEC teams,
Mhm.
is what it feels like.
and then Notre Dame
they-
would bitch.
They really don't have. I mean, you got to beat Miami or A&M. I don't think they have a lot to be upset about.
Is that it? Would that be enough for Notre Dame to join the ACC if they if they didn't get in?
They'll never join the ACC. Why
Absolutely
would
not.
that?
It's too lucrative to be independent.
Yeah.
I don't know if
Yeah,
this
you're
was real or not, but I saw Joey McGuire, the Texas Tech head coach, one of his
He's
press
sitting on Notre
conferences.
Dame.
Yeah, he was talking about he was giving credit to BYU for playing a conference schedule now, unlike other teams that are scared to do it. So
Well, dude,
It's
I'm
actually-
sure you don't think like like they could finagle something with the ACC and like still like not be part of the rev share, and I don't know
But why would they? Why wouldn't they join the Big Ten if that's what they want to do?
because they don't want to play good teams like that.
Dude, they play
Yeah.
plenty of good teams.
Dude, they play an ACC schedule.
Yeah.
They literally play an ACC schedule.
Dude,
What are you
their
talking
schedule
about?
next year is like
They get Navy in the ACC, and then Army is sometimes.
They're not even playing USC the next few years either.
Now they do play Miami and no, dude, kudos to them. But like most of their schedule is ACC.
That's true.
they're playing USC next year.
Are they?
Yeah, USC,
Okay.
Miami. Yeah, the schedule next year is not bad at all.
Yeah, so
But
6 of their
They
12
just
games are
agreed to
against
that
ACC
Auburn
teams.
home and home. Did you guys see that?
what do you mean?
Notre Dame. They just agreed to play a home and home with Auburn, and I think it's like 2028.
All right.
It's kind of cool.
Yeah, I mean,
2027. I think.
we'll see what Auburn is at that point. We'll see who's their head coach. The Jimbo Fisher at Auburn versus I don't know. Marcus Freeman will probably be the coach of the Steelers by then. So okay. Do you guys want to move on to Texas Tech BYU?
Yeah.
All right, I got two things on the Texas Tech BYU game. One, for BYU to win big games, they're heavily reliant on the turnover battle, and they lost it 3-0. And then two, Jacob Rodriguez, the middle linebacker who Dusk has talked about before on the podcast, number 10 for Texas Tech, had 14 tackles, 1 TFL, 1 pick, 1 pass breakup, and 1 fumble recovery. Absolute monster. All right, you guys go.
Snooze fest.
Yep.
BYU's offense. I for the life of me, I still do not understand how the Utah Utes lost to them. BYU's a good, well-coached team. Yeah, they obviously lack the top end talent and
Yeah.
top end performance
The
to
melanin.
compete anywhere near a college football playoff. But yeah, tough to this was a tough watch. I know the final score was 29-7, but it felt like the entire game Texas Tech was up by 100.
The athletes, it just felt like it was like, we got a different caliber athletes on the field.
Yeah. Bachmeier is a cool number and cool story, but they lack any ounce of like a vertical pass game or anything. And they do have speedsters at receiver. That Roberts guy.
Yeah,
they
can
got
run.
guys all over the field. But yeah, tough. And I'm interested to see how this affects BYU going forward. They play TCU this Saturday and then Cincinnati next week, I believe.
Mhm.
So, you got to finish strong if you want a chance at the playoff. And the way that I saw them play,
Those are two
those
hard games. TCU
Yeah.
is good, and obviously Cincinnati's good.
What about 11-1 BYU or 10-2 Vandy?
10-2 Vandy.
10-2 Vandy.
I also think
but not by much.
In the way that game went, probably you had this in your doc, and I agree with it. It felt like they need to win the turnover battle, and there was like one way that Texas or that BYU could have won this game, and it was by being able to dominate on the ground and by winning the turnover battle by a lot and having a couple splash plays go their way. And that didn't, and that was just like there was only one pathway for victory for them. Meanwhile, Texas Tech just out athleted them the entire time.
Yeah.
It's also pretty cool seeing that linebacker get a lot of credit.
Yeah.
He's a beast.
I just also want to say that Lubbock was so pure. Just an electric college football environment in that game.
What did you think of their unis?
They were pretty cool. The all whites.
You know what? That Mahomes logo reminds me, Charlie, you'll probably understand this. Like, remember like the Crons uniforms, like way back in the day, Charlie, like the triangles?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Or like when you played like a youth sport and you just had like the dumbest brand of uniform.
Yeah.
Like, that's what that Mahomes logo.
Oh, the Trons, like
what
are our third unis for Pinehurst Hockey wear?
Yeah. With the logo like right here.
Yeah.
Does that Mahomes logo not remind you of like just a dumb random brand
brand. Like you
logo.
just got jerseys from China and like
Does he need to
that
put
was the
his logo
cheapest
in
one.
their uniforms? Like,
Like putting the
What do you
Jordan
pay
logo on
for
your
him?
uniform.
but it's ugly. That's just me hating on
It's still
that
cool
kind
that
of.
Mahomes is like doing
No,
that.
it is cool, but like it ruins what I thought was a pretty snazzy uniform.
I thought the uglier part was the tinfoil numbers and everything about the sleeves, but
Also, just a couple football things from this game.
Yeah, let's talk football.
Texas Tech defense. We've talked about Jacob Rodriguez all year and David Bailey too. That guy's a freak off the edge. But a couple other guys stood out to me in the front seven. John Curry, I think he's number 6. He's a linebacker for them. He just was really good tackling all game. And then number 2, Lee Hunter is one of their interior D linemen. He looked really good as well. They just have a really high caliber front seven that no Big 12 team can really compete with for sure. And then I think it probably matches up with some of the best teams in the Big Ten and the SEC. It's just they can get after the quarterback and they have really good linebackers who tackle really well. They can eat up the run. BYU only had 67 rushing yards on 27 carries. And that's the thing that's going to contribute to the lack of vertical passing game, like Arch was saying, and also them turning it over 3 times. So the one thing for Texas Tech offensively that I noticed that they ran the ball pretty well, I'd say. JC was blocking his ass off. He looked really good out there.
Always, always.
But they did struggle a bit in pass pro, and that definitely contributed to some of the stagnation that you could see on offense once they would cross the 50. There was a lot of drives where they had to settle for field goals and they couldn't really convert in some of the crucial third downs. And that was sort of due to pass protection. So I think that's a theme that we're going to want to watch out for as they get into the Big 12 championship, which probably won't be as much of an issue there. But once we get into a playoff setting, if their offensive line's able to hold up against some stronger pass rush units that they'll probably see. So that's just something to keep an eye on moving forward. But overall, awesome defense performance. And just Lubbock was as pure as it gets. Just an awesome college football environment, and the goat was in the house and they played well. So good win for
True,
them.
true. The baby goat. Yo, Duska, I have a thesis for you, and I want to know if you agree with this from a Texas Tech point of view. The thesis is that in order to beat Texas Tech as a Big 12 football team, because their front seven is as elite as they are, and that nobody in the Big 12 has another front seven like that. The only way you beat Texas Tech is by miracle quarterback play and like elite level quarterback play.
Sam Levitt.
Sam Levitt. The only other quarterback in the Big 12 I think that could get Texas Tech, they don't have to play him, and that's Sawyer Robertson at Baylor. So I think they cruise the rest of the way, and like that's kind of my thesis is they don't have to play Sawyer Robinson, and the only quarterback they did have to play that was truly elite in my opinion in college football is Sam Levitt, and um,
I think the offense is vulnerable enough that once they play good teams that it'll come back to bite them, but there's nobody in the Big 12 that can
this
stand
is
up.
strictly Big 12 thesis.
Yeah, 100%. I agree.
yeah, I was going to say something else about their offense. That loss of their backup quarterback Hammond, I think, is a whole bigger deal than I think we believed at first. I don't think I think more. I think Hammond is better than Morton, and
I'll agree.
and like there
You
was
don't
like
have
when you
faith in Mitch
watch
Griffiths to step in and make big plays if
Ooh,
needed?
Mitch Griffis? Who knew?
who's that? Is that Texas
He-
Tech's backup now?
It's their third
Third
string. Yeah,
string,
he's the backup
who
now.
played
But
against
he
him
was
in the
at
win.
Wake. Yeah, we played against him.
Really?
Caleb Curtin,
Yeah.
dude. Caleb Curtin pick six.
He was
Oh,
at Wake for a while.
really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But sorry, get back to your point about Will
I just
Hammond.
don't think that he's as good. Like I think the like when you watch Morton, I think there's just like he lacks some of the down to down consistency. I would feel like would really elevate them. I think he missed some throws versus BYU, and like it's hard not to like remember the Texas Tech Utah game when Hammond came in, he kind of took over that game, and I feel like when you watch Morton, he kind of lacks that ability, which I think they can get by with Morton in Big 12 play, but I think when you're facing the teams in the playoff that have the offense that is going to be able to score on your defense, I just feel like he's going to lack. He's going to lack the ability to lead that offense to a high enough level to beat some of these like bigger teams.
I will say in Morton's defense, Hammond started the Arizona State game, and I mean they weren't great in that one either. I think similar themes to this game that Arizona State was getting after him. There was a lot of pressure on him, and I just don't know if they have a quarterback in general. Hammond was definitely good against Utah for sure. He flashed, and he
Yeah.
has less experience than Morton, so the ceiling is probably higher. But I just don't know if they have a quarterback in general that is going to be able to make up for the lack of other areas of the offense being that consistent, if that makes sense.
Well, dude,
Yeah, I would agree with
Texas
that.
Tech Cameron Dickey is going to be what they lean on in big games.
Yeah.
It's going to be the
No
Cameron
doubt.
Dickey. Like if they can't get home going, that'd kind of be a padlock stack if he can't get going in big games. But but they are a versatile team with a good defense, so you don't have to be able to, run the ball explosively for them to be
Throw it
good
to 9,
teams.
you'll be fine.
Yeah. Yeah. Also throw it to 9. You guys got anything else? Or do you want to move on to Tulane, Memphis, and talk a little AAC?
Real football.
Yes, some G5 football. Yeah, we don't avoid the G5 on this podcast. We're real ball lovers. Tulane goes into Memphis and gets a huge win, 38-32. Retzloff, this was another RB of the week. RB of the week alumni matchup.
Alumni.
Yes, between Retzloff and Lewis, Brandon Lewis. So pretty and the shame of it for both of these teams is so Tulane gets a big win after losing to, I believe, was it UAB last week?
UTSA, they got smoked.
UTSA. Yeah, UTSA smoked them last week.
Yeah.
And then this week, this is the pick'em game, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I went with Tulane because I thought it was a spot for them. And yeah, it turned out to be a spot for them. Now, the problem for both of them is that Navy still controls their destiny. Navy still sitting atop AAC after two horrendous performances. They are still the leaders in the AAC.
Chuck, did you check what their who they play this week and what the line is for
10 and a
Navy?
half USF.
Yeah. I can't believe they're giving that much respect to USF in Annapolis, but
Dude, if Blake Horvath plays,
live dog.
dude, such a live dog. I love us in
I
Annapolis.
mean, if you watch what North Texas did to Navy, the spread's not that
Yeah,
surprising.
the secret.
Oh, it's not, but it's like it is.
I'll let you know the sequence. Our defense is bad. Really bad. Like sneaky.
Ira
really
Brown
bad.
might run for 300 on y'all after that Hawkins fella. from
Our
North Texas.
defensive backs at the Naval Academy. We had an NFL defensive back last year, Ryan Lane. He plays on the Jags. He's a special teamer for them this year. And he was the eraser, bro. Like, he was nasty for us. And we do not have that football player. We don't have anybody near that kid. So our front seven isn't like the nastiest. Dude, we just have fat ankled middle linebackers in the 50s. Like, I don't like linebackers with the 50s. Like, like the number of like in the 50s. You know what I'm saying, Duska? Like,
Mhm.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I feel
single
like most
digit.
of them are single digits or like in the 20s or 30s or 40s. I don't
Like
know.
Jacob Rodriguez. Well, he's number
Yeah.
10, but
But yeah, you know
that's
what I'm
basically
saying.
single digit.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm not huge on our backers, but yeah, dude, we gotta score points, get turnovers. That's pretty much the game plan. But anyway, Tulane, Memphis though. Dude, Tulane's good, and it's just funny that I can't believe they lost to like UTSA and got boat race like that. And then like it kind of just shows you the volatility of like good teams but not great teams. Like you can just get got by UTSA one week. I believe that's Josh McCown's son.
It is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
it
Road
is.
Runners.
Utsa in the Alamo Dome is special.
Yeah, it really is. It really is.
Away from home, they're horrible, as you saw versus USF last week. But at home, they are pretty good.
I forgot they play in the Alamo Dome. That's kind of an electric.
UTSA give Texas hell as well.
Yeah, best tackling performance Cole Kubik's
Yeah.
seen all year.
UTSA also gave A&M a decent game week 1.
Week 1, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
They
I
covered.
wonder what I'm gonna look up AAC passing leaders.
Yeah.
Let's see where let's see
While
what
you're looking that up, two things.
oh yeah.
Tulane O line in that game, very impressive. And then the Tulane drive chart from the first half. I'll read it out real quick. It was 6 drives, touchdown, touchdown, punt, touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. 35 points in the first half for Tulane. They were an offensive machine. And they also did a good job getting pressure all game and had 6 sacks. So well-deserved win. Lewis did a good job hanging in and making big plays on the comeback bid, but overall great performance for Tulane.
Yeah, Memphis's defense is a real problem in like a bad way. They are horrible.
That's
They
what we need
got
at Navy. We need bad defenses. That's what we
They were
need.
being
I mean
had through the air.
yeah, like it was like RBA. It was I don't or yeah, I mean it was like Dusker read off their charts, but there's it was Tulane's like last drive before half was probably the easiest drive I've ever seen. Like they just marched down the field in 3 minutes, 10 plays, 75 yards in 3 minutes, and just like with ease. There was no pushback from Memphis. So the game was a lot more out of hand than the score would like to reflect. So
Yeah, they had they Memphis outscored Tulane 14-0 in the fourth quarter to kind of make this one look close. But
Someone's got to snag Summerall, right?
yeah.
That's all
So,
but confirmed.
Auburn's like minus 200 for him.
Okay.
Yeah,
I like that fit. Hopefully he
it's a
can
good hire for them.
find a little magic.
yeah. I mean that the
Yeah, I have
the post ball opening up the game, like the receiver Tulane had, his name's Chaz Preston. He gave him like a and like just lost the guy off the release. Yeah, and just lost him off the release, and then like it was just bombs away, bombs over.
I've been trying to make up some ground in the pick'em by going against the grain here for this game. I tried to pull a Herb Street, but
Didn't work out.
Memphis's defense had other plans.
Yeah,
Yeah, I watched like the first half of this game, and it was just it reminded me of that one Steeler game, the playoff game where like we could not stop Blake Bortles, like but no matter what happened, like that reminded me of the first half of this game.
The boat.
Sad.
Blake
Memphis
Bortles. Don't even let's pause on the Steelers talk. They don't even deserve to be talked about. They literally don't
in
deserve
the
it.
negative light.
Yeah.
Also, NFL football in general. Just quick point. It's so hard to watch right now. There's just no good. There's like 5 good quarterbacks, and teams have a really hard time scoring in the NFL right now,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just hard to watch.
It is really bad.
Like
I don't- I
defense
just- I
is
just don't
so
watch
far
it.
ahead of offense, and it happened like out of nowhere. But
Mhm.
it's like the Monday. If anyone watched Monday Night Football yesterday, like
That was the worst game I've seen this year.
yeah, it was
was
it
horrible.
was just foul.
It is crazy how like offense got ahead of defense in like 2016, and then defense has just came roaring back.
Do we think that the quarterbacks of our teenage and like growing up generation were just that much better, or that defenses have schemed up and
I
found
think
a way
I think
to
the
stop
game
passing attacks as much?
I think the game has gotten a little bit more complicated, and what quarterbacks are asked to do is like just insanely hard. Like it just takes so much preparation, so much anticipation, and like it's hard to ask like, dude, like Big Ben, I'm not sure he watched as much film as like Tua Tagovailoa is. There's no way I can prove that, but like Big Ben was not known for being like a film grinder, but like the dude could just show up and rip the ball around the field, and like that's like not as that's really not how you win in the NFL anymore. It's like you're slowly dicing up teams, like, and your quarterback just has to make the correct decision over and over
Hmm.
and over again. That's what NFL quarterbacks are tasked to do now, which is why like Mahomes is really good because he is able to make the right decision time and time again, but then he can pull off like some sick explosive. Like, dude, you watched, yeah, like the Jordan Love and Jalen Hurts are like top 12 quarterbacks in the league. And like, dude, they're having so much trouble just making the right decision time and time again. And then like defenses, like they're athletic as hell. Like their pressure, all the stunts. Like, dude, it's does that make sense?
Do you think it
No,
has
it
to do
does.
with just innovation? Like with anything, like offense was ahead, and then they are to obviously catch up, and they're going to
Yeah,
adapt.
no,
Like, I
what
just think there's just like adaptation, and also it seems like now like offenses are doing more to not lose the game versus if that makes sense.
yeah, but I think offense is trying to not lose the game coincides with Duska's point that like the quarterback play is just not as good. So teams are less
Oh
willing
yeah,
to
no,
just
I
put the
agree.
game on the quarterback. Like I don't know. Like, cause dude, I mean, there's still some offenses that get to work. Like
Rams.
The Rams, like Matt Stafford gets to work every week
Yeah.
week in, week out. He slings the ball, he makes all the right reads. Like he's an elite ball knower, elite decision maker. He's seen
Also,
it
like
all.
the Ravens, when
Seattle
Lamar
loves
plays,
doing
like the
that.
Ravens move the Ravens always move the ball.
Yep, yep.
But like they always like they lose in the playoffs because they have questionable turnovers and they're playing good teams, but they in the regular season they always move the ball.
Yep. The Chiefs and the
Yeah.
Bills as well. Like those
Yeah.
are and I do think like if I would love to have seen what the Chargers could be because they're already still good with like two tackles that don't play. Like
Mhm.
Herbert's pretty damn good. I mean, yeah, we saw what he did to the Bears. I mean, that was sad. All right, do you want to touch college football now?
Yes, please.
All right, let's do it. Wisconsin. Wisconsin, speaking of just shitty quarterback play, dude, Wisconsin, their quarterback, his name is Carter Smith, and he threw for less than 50 yards in this game. But it was enough to beat Washington in Madison, Wisconsin. And they used special teams and turnovers to get a huge win, a win big enough to elicit a field storming, which we'll get to later. Um, so, a couple stats on this game. First ranked win for the Badgers under Luke Fickle. So, year 4, we get our first ranked win. Congrats, Luke Fickle. Clap it up.
I saw a
Congrats.
report that he's being retained as well.
Dude,
Yep,
I mean, field storming.
Good for
So,
him.
all right, so
good
I
for
got a
them.
couple ball things. So linebacker Mason Posa and Cooper Catalano, they are the two linebackers for Wisconsin. Mason Posa is a true freshman. They had 11 and 19 tackles apiece. So they had 30 tackles from their inside linebackers, which is insane production. If your inside linebackers both have 8 tackles and have 16 tackles, that's like a good day at the office. And they had 30 tackles. Um, Carter Smith was actually a running back, as I've said, he was 3 for 12 for 8 yards passing. The bulk of the passing yards came from a fake punt where the punter ended up throwing it to one of the shields on the punt. So that was where the bulk of the passing yards came from. Um, dude, I'm just sad. I'm sad for Washington because I like this team and I wanted to see them play Oregon with more on the line. Denzel Boston is amazing. Their receiver for Washington, he made some incredible catches. Um, yeah, that's really what I got. Like Mason Posa had a great strip sack on Damon Williams, and that's the thing with Damon Williams. Like, dude, he had a heinous turnover. So, Arch, I want to get your thoughts because like we've been carrying water for Washington, but like, dude, as electric as Damon Williams is, like that sack he took or the strip sack where he's like trying to make a play, he's got terrible ball security. Mason Posa strips it and recovers it. Like, that was tough to watch because it's
Yeah,
not like Washington moved the football. Like they were moving the football. They just had like inexcusable turnovers.
yeah, this was horrible to watch. They just couldn't get out of their own way. Special teams was an issue again for them. Had field goal they missed with like 10 minutes left. And that's when you kind of started to realize that, yeah, it was 14 play, 63-yard drive. It was a 50 yards field goal in the rain, tough, but they got blocks that didn't even matter. Just like just an extremely sad performance from Washington. Kind of a reflection, I would say, on the rumors around Jed Fish and if he's out or not. I mean, he's been talked about for the UCLA job, the Florida job. Makes you wonder if like his head was elsewhere for this game because I just like, I mean, like you mentioned, Wisconsin's linebackers. The last two games, I believe they combined for 50 something solo tackles, which is just insane for like two inside linebackers. But
Yeah, like it
just a
doesn't happen.
horrible game. Yeah, just a horrible game for Washington. It was just extremely sad, like I said. I mean, because they had all the ability, especially after you watched Oregon against Iowa, you had all the belief in the world that you could upset them and get into the college football playoff, like sneak in at the end, and now your season's basically over, especially because all three of your losses are conference losses, so you're not playing for anything.
I want to shout out. I don't know who the Wisconsin special teams coordinator is, but he had a great fake punt, like a laugher of a fake punt, like so wide open. You get 5 eligible receivers on every football play. And punt, it's sometimes hard to see who are the eligible receivers. But the rule on punt return is you always have to play man coverage on the eligible receivers. So usually, if you have a two shield, if you run two shields, like this year, Luke Davis Ladorian is a shield. He is always eligible because he's off the line of scrimmage, right? And then you have two guys out wide, and then you either have three shields or a guy on the end of the line of scrimmage. Anyway, you always want to play them in man coverage. And Wisconsin walks up their two shields and then slips them out on when Washington sent a full punt rush, and it was a laugher. So shout out that Wisconsin dude, Wisconsin's special teams coordinator for getting that done, and the punter and Shield for executing that to a T. Did you guys get to see that fake punt?
I did.
So, oh well, field
Yeah,
storming. Oh, you go. You
quick
go.
thing about that game. Arch said it. Yeah, there are reports that Jed Fish is really unhappy in Seattle and wants out. So this really seemed like he had one foot out the door, or has one foot out the door, and might not have game planned at his highest capacity for that one. Congrats to Wisconsin. I feel like we've always kind of rooted for Wisconsin. We've had friends go through there.
Elena Camino, shout out.
Yeah, and it's just again, it's sad. Like when they're good, it's fun for college football because they're a pretty likable team. I feel like they have a great environment. Um, so maybe this turns it around a little bit. Maybe they can salvage the season with a couple more wins, as well as I really like them back in Fickle. I think that actually that was the right play. So I don't know how much better they might have gotten in the coaching carousel this summer, as well as I don't know what their financial situation's like, and if that would have been the best route to have to buy him out. So sticking with their guy, I like that. They back him. They get a great win. Don't hate the field storming. So
So you're impressed.
congratulations,
You're
Wisconsin.
impressed. You're more impressed with Wisconsin than you are a full job for Washington.
Yeah, I am. I think that this was pretty like that he has one foot out the door. I don't think that they were that he was in this game mentally as much as he should have.
Yeah, I think this game's more about the collapse of Washington. Like the starting quarterback threw for 8 yards.
But also some funny stats like Wisconsin had 205 total yards, and Washington had 200.
Not
But
good.
again, Wisconsin played well against Oregon a couple weeks ago. They're playing a little bit better.
No, their defense is playing really well.
So they probably
Duska,
heard our podcast shitting on them.
dude, they probably did. They've heard, dude. You've been calling for the Wisconsin Badgers being bad since the first pod. Duska, you got anything on this one?
Yeah, I don't know. My only thing with Jed Fish is he's seriously being considered, unless a school was already confirmed that they're going to hire him to him. You don't want a loss like this to like when Matt Rule was being heavily considered for Penn State. I know he got extended by Nebraska, but they didn't play well like the subsequent games afterwards. Like you don't want to go out in a way that would like stymie the confidence that an administration or a like higher ups in a university would like see the negative performances and like lose confidence in you to like start off a job, if that makes sense at all. So I don't know if I like completely buy into like Washington's not game planning and like to the best of their ability. I think they just kind of went into an environment where they were overwhelmed and probably weren't expecting that, and then like they had trouble climbing out of that hole. But yeah, I mean, I don't have a ton on the game. It's just it's hard for me to believe that like Jed Fish wouldn't put his all into a game, even if you don't like being at Washington in general. Like you still,
Love your
if you're a
players.
good college football coach, yeah, still love your players and want to put them in the best position to succeed. So it's hard for me to just like buy into that narrative, but I think
That's a
that
good point, Tesco.
yeah, I think they just got a little overwhelmed and probably weren't expecting it. Also,
I think they're one dimensional. I think they're very Demond
yeah,
Williams reliant. I think that's the
100%.
next thing. Is like Demond Williams has to be a superhero every game for them
Yeah.
to win. And like he is really good, but he had some bad turnovers.
I think this Washington team is also they're definitely in the upper end of the Big Ten, but they're not like I don't think they're a top 25 team. I think their ranking was probably a little bit propped up, but
I think
yeah,
that
they're I
Michigan game showed a lot of flaws too.
100%. Yeah, that's kind of the point.
Yeah.
But
Random back to Wisconsin real quick. Dumb nugget, but Pitt actually plays at Wisconsin next year, which is a cool matchup.
The Paul
that is
Chris
fun.
matchup.
That's a fun matchup.
And then in 2027 they play in Arizona.
The Aer Lingus.
Mm.
Wait. Can we go back to one thing that I just wanted to like call out in the Auburn Vandy game? Did you guys see that on back-to-back plays, Cam Coleman made one-handed catches
Such a
on a
freak.
He's insane.
on a touchdown catch? The guy's draped all over him. They throw a deep bomb and he just catches it with his left hand. Then on the 2-point conversion, they throw him a fade and then he just one-hands it with his right hand. Back-to-back plays, left hand catch, right hand catch. Tie ball game. Let's ride. Like, dude, insane. So shout out Cam Coleman.
Also, I think it's a valid field storming for Wisconsin.
Dude, also
Been a tough year.
it's been a really tough year. I also thought, like, dude, if you saw the stands, like people had their shirts off and like were drinking so much beer and like, dude, I respect that. I
I
respect
like the
it's
new trend of
freezing,
the shirts off.
shirts off. Like, dude, if you're gonna have your shirts off, you can do whatever you'd like in that freezing environment. Like, dude,
That reminds me of us, Charlie, during Sandstorm.
oh, dude. Oh,
I
Sam,
think there is a prerequisite though for schools that do this. I think you have to be bad. Like
Yeah.
you shouldn't be able to do this if you're a good team.
Yep.
It's got to be a team that's like really down in the dumps and
Yeah.
like having a really bad year.
Oklahoma
Like
State.
I saw people at North Texas doing. I don't know. It might have been just like a few people, but like not valid.
No.
But Wisconsin certainly valid after this year.
Oklahoma State kid like started them.
Yeah, exactly. Perfect
They're
example.
getting destroyed by someone, and he just started a huge.
Sam, I want you to know that I had to tell somebody today about, like, we're talking about like best environments in college football, and I was like, dude, you got to get to a South Carolina football game. Nothing better than Sandstorm at night, the red lights flashing. I mean, dude, picture perfect. Take me back to
We might have to have a couple tour stops next fall.
right,
Yeah,
right.
yeah. We might have to lock
South
in.
Carolina,
Especially when,
Georgia.
dude, when we hit 200 subs, then we could go do that.
We can start the tour.
Yeah, the tour will start.
We should go to Columbia.
Are we
for
at 40
something.
subs yet?
No,
Are we
I
at
think we're
40
at
subs yet?
38.
Oh,
I
we're
think
still at 38.
Yeah, we need some more
Everyone
friends.
sub to the channel who's not.
Yeah.
We
You need
noticed a
more.
lot of you guys are following, but not subscribing.
It's
Um,
true. We have like almost 200 followers on Instagram, so we need
yeah.
to
Yeah.
figure
Or
that
maybe
out.
In
just look
order
up friends
for
that
us
follow
to
the page.
monetize on YouTube, we're only 960 or yeah, 962 subs away for us to monetize. And so then we can pay for the forward pass tour.
Yeah, we
Uh
can pay our editor more money and
yeah,
our intern
and our
more
intern.
money, and they
Yeah.
can.
He's begging for money right now.
Uh can we talk Louisville Cal? You guys want to talk some Louisville Cal?
JKS.
Disgusting loss for Louisville.
Dude, take it away. Take it
Unfathomable.
away. Take it away.
Unfathomable loss. I mean, for being a team that's like in the hunt for they were, I don't know, probably not anymore with all the one-loss teams. Inexcusable loss. This is just like Louisville's loss to Stanford last year, except this one is way worse because last year it was at Stanford. This year it was home. Miller Moss isn't. I don't know. He's not. Maybe Lincoln Riley was right about the whole benching and kind of getting him out.
Well, he's definitely
Good
not better
play
than
for
Mayava. So
yeah, no, good play for that Brian Harson called on the score in to get the 2-point conversion or something to score to win the game.
no, no,
That was
no, no,
pretty
no, no,
cool.
no, no. Dude, you got to give it more credit, bro. It's 4th and 3. They're down 3. So if they kick the field goal, they just go into second overtime, and they decide to go for it on 4th and 3. And
I agree.
In DeJesus, uh, DeJesus, the guy, their receiver number 21, baller. He was so good all game. They run like a dart route or a whip route, whatever you want to call him. He cooks the DB. Sagapolatelli throws a dot. I love Sagapolatelli. Sagapolatelli is one of my favorite quarterbacks in the
You
game.
got the pronunciation down.
I know,
Respect.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, I was listening to the announcers say it, so I got better. So Sagapolatelli is a gamer. He's also a lefty Dusko, which I love. And
Love it.
he makes NFL throws. Like, ah, in people, I don't know if people know this, but the hash marks in college football are wider than they are in pro football. So really, um, college quarterbacks when they throw to the far side of the field, they're making longer throws than NFL quarterbacks are having to make. And dude, he threw a ball to I think it was DeJesus on a wheel route, and it was from far. It was with 3 minutes left in the game, and they didn't end up scoring on this drive, but they were backed up. 3 minutes left, fourth quarter. He throws a wheel route to the left side of the field. They're on the right hash, dot. But it's such a far throw, like such a far throw, and it was a dot. So dude, I love the lefty Polynesian. I love how Harson dropped his nuts and called and Cal went for it 4th and 3 to win the game. So shout out Sagapolatelli. I got one more thing for you guys. And this time I didn't put it on the doc, so I didn't spoil the trivia. Okay. Let's see in order. Could you guys guess the ACC quarterback passing leaders this year?
In
5-1.
yards.
5-1 in yards. 5-1.
Darian
In
Mintz is
order
number
or just the
one.
top five?
Hmm?
In order or just the top five?
In order.
Darian Mintz
Yeah.
is one.
No.
JKS one?
Huh?
The JKS one?
Sagapolatelli? No.
The Cal quarterback.
He's just gonna say the name every time because he
Yeah,
can.
yeah. JKS is
Um,
not one.
Is he in the top
is going to
five?
be 5 is Haynes King.
Nope.
No way.
Is he
Haynes
one?
King's in the top five.
Kane's King is not in this.
Sagapolatelli's
CJ Bailey. CJ Bailey's 5.
No, he's 4. Good shit, Arch.
Chandler
Is-
Morris in
so
there?
Mensa's not one.
No, Chandler Morris is not in there. Mensa's
Is
not
Mensa
one.
in the top five?
Yes, he is.
Mintz
Mensa's
is 2.
two.
Mensa's 2. Mensa's 2. So we got CJ Bailey at 4. Mensa at 2.
Sagapolatelli is 4.
CJ Bailey's 4.
Kevin
No.
Jennings.
Sagapolatelli's 5.
Kevin Jennings one.
Kevin Jennings is 1.
Is
I knew
Carson
it.
Beck in the top 5?
What number?
4.
5.
Two.
Yaska, you already guessed 4
Oh
twice.
shit,
CJ
5.
Bailey's 4.
Sorry.
Yeah, Carson Beck is number 5.
So Sagapolatelli's
Number
3.
3.
Yes, Sagapolatelli's 3. So it goes Kevin Jennings,
Jennings
Darian,
is leading. Wow.
Darian
Good
Menza.
for
How
him.
about Jennings?
He's a
Darian Menza,
baller.
dude. Sagapolatelli,
He's
CJ
a
Bailey,
yak merchant.
Carson Beck. You shut your mouth.
Just one thing on Sagapulatelli.
Yeah.
I think it gets talked about a little bit. Some quarterbacks prefer throwing on the sideline, and some quarterbacks prefer throwing across the middle. I don't know if there's any merit to that, Chuck, or if you've heard about that. But a lot of the best throws that JKS had in this game were along the sideline.
Mhm.
Like people say, like Jalen Hurts is elite along the sidelines, but not great throwing over the middle.
Yeah.
But so he had a few throws along the sideline. The first touchdown, there was a ball to Landon Morris, and it was just like the window was so small, and it was just such a dime.
What, the back
And
shoulder one?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh,
he threw a
sick.
lot of back shoulder balls, and
Oh,
like
dude, his back shoulder balls
they
are
were all really good.
sexy.
That's why I'm saying like the sideline over the middle
Well,
thing.
I would just have to watch more of his stuff. Like,
Yeah,
this could have been
true,
like, dude, what if they just played a lot of one high stuff? So like,
sure.
you know what I'm saying? Like, we could
Just
explain
from
this.
what I noticed and
No, no,
my
I like
fairly
that.
rudimentary understanding of passing offense,
Mhm.
outside of like pass pro,
Yeah.
just lefty dimes along the sideline, like they just fire me up, and he had so many in
Yes.
this game,
Yes.
and like that's what stood out to me. He's certified dimer and
Yeah.
and pretty electric to watch. So
Another
I'm
guy
sure
I
he'll
like.
transfer out of Cal and go to a big
Oh,
program,
I know. I was gonna say
which is
that. That
unfortunate,
sucks.
but it's probably the case.
Yeah, Cal's gonna have to just keep finding
Yeah.
quarterbacks. But number 41, the freshman linebacker, his name's Luke Farrelly. He's second on the team in tackles with 72. Dude, I really enjoyed watching him play for Cal. Dude, he flew around, made some great plays. Also, um, uh, uh, Miller Moss threw a really bad pick. They ran like switch verch out of a bunch FSL, which is formation into the sideline. So like they're bunched they're on the left hash, bunched to the left. They run a switch verticals concept, and then Miller Moss just doesn't see the corner peel off and play the sideline ball. And that guy that made the pick, number 5, Hezekiah Masses, it's his 5th pick of the year, so he's tied for first in the nation. So shout out Hezekiah Masses, DB corner on Cal. So dude, big win for Cal. And like I said, they are the 9th team in the ACC, and they beat the 7th team in the Big Ten. So like the depth of the ACC is like can reasonably be argued that is better than the Big Ten.
I think there's just a lot of good quarterbacks in the conference
Yes.
compared to the Big Ten.
Yep.
Like even Duke has 4 losses, but Darian Mensah, like arguably the best QB in that conference, and
Mhm.
like the team's not even that great.
Yeah. Mason Heinschel at Pitt.
Yeah,
He's been playing
Heinschel.
well.
Yeah,
Dude,
perfect example.
great Sagapolatelli and Heinschel, two true freshman quarterbacks that are playing really well. So,
Yeah, like those guys compared to like Wisconsin's quarterback, like,
ooh.
like
Carter
give
Smith
me
though, he's a dog, but
give me a break.
he'll probably play running back next year.
Yeah.
He's gonna make a great dude. He's gonna be an awesome ETSU QB.
Like Aiden Childs versus Mason Heinschel. Like, who
Yeah,
would you rather have?
yeah. Give me Heinschel.
Yeah.
Sagapolatelli versus whoever Minnesota's starter is. Like, do we even know that
Like
answer?
Sagapulatelli or Bryce Underwood at this point. You know?
Ooh, yeah.
Like, I don't
Ooh,
know.
okay. Sagapolatelli or Malik Washington?
Ooh,
That
see, that's close for me.
I'm still going Sagapolatelli.
Washington's pretty sick.
Dude, Malik Washington's sick. He is.
Well,
That's a
here's
close
one.
one.
Would you rather have Carson Beck or Drew Aller? Like,
Get back. Yep.
yeah. Like,
All
I
right,
don't know.
here's one. Dude, Bobby Ashford, Preston Stone.
Ooh.
Preston's dude, you should both run the ball if you have to be there.
Even like
They-
Kevin Jennings, dude. Kevin Jennings
Dude,
would
Kenny
probably
Jennings
be
is the best quarterback. I love that guy. You know,
he'd
already
probably be
know.
like a top 4 quarterback in the Big Ten, top 5.
Yes, top 4, no doubt. No doubt.
Yeah.
Name me 3
I
better
mean,
quarterbacks.
I mean, we did see what he did versus the Big Ten defense last year. He was great in the playoffs.
Shut up. Come on, dude. You know I don't like that argument. That's bad faith.
Arch
He'd be
wins.
5 or 6.
Yeah,
He'd be
Arch
5
always
or
wins.
6.
I think that was
Well-
a little bit. There was definitely a defensive issue in that game as well, Arch.
Yeah.
SMU was not prepared.
And it was
to-
cold. It's not fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
dude, he was playing hero.
SMU shouldn't have to play in weather like that.
Sayin, Mendoza, Underwood.
More.
No. Saden, I would say Sayin, Mendoza, more, and then I would go.
Altmaier.
No. Give me.
Altmaier's solid.
I know, but give me Jennings.
I don't know. I might take Jennings over
Yeah.
Moore. Dude, Dante Moore he's
All right,
Really?
I
I
like
think
that. I
Dante-
like that, Arch.
I don't like
Oh,
that.
well, I mean, I think he is better than Moore, but not as a
I'll take
prospect.
Dante Moore over Jennings.
Would you rather have Cade Klubnik or Mark Gronowski? Oh, we're not even. We're forgetting
What?
Haynes King too.
Oh, dude, Haynes
Yeah.
King is a damn good college
Yeah.
quarterback.
Yeah.
Yeah. Haynes King or
Baby Tebow.
yeah.
Or would you rather have Mark Gronowski or whoever I just said?
Haynes King.
No.
Who?
Uh,
Or
Neither.
Hey, Greg
I don't
Meyer
even-
back.
I
He
can't
did
even
that.
remember who I just said.
Klubnik.
Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah,
Klubnik
Klubnik
or
or Gronowski.
Klubnik by a little bit.
I think you'd have to take. Has he
Klubnik.
been playing bad this year? I haven't tuned into a Clemson game since the Georgia Tech one. I refuse to watch
I
that.
think
Yeah.
he's been typical Cade Klubnik.
Mhm.
Their defense is
Yeah.
just really, really bad.
Who's the UVA quarterback? Chandler Morris?
Yeah.
Chandler
He's
Morris.
horrible.
He's not horrible.
He also got hurt in that
Aguilar
game.
or
So
Jennings?
What?
Aguilar or Jennings?
Jennings, no doubt.
Joey Aguilar.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Jennings, probably.
Jennings. Thanks, Arch.
Aguilar's good
I
though.
don't know.
He is good. I think Jennings is really good, but I've already
Nico or Joey Aguilar?
probably Aguilar this year. But
This is a fun exercise.
yeah, I like this exercise. Okay, we'll move on. But oh wait, actually no, we're not going to move on because we have some ACC stuff to do. If Pitt wins the AC, if they went out in the ACC, they make the chip. But if Pitt wins,
No, they don't.
probably
I have
they got to
this
beat
pulled up.
Georgia Tech. What do you mean? What do you mean?
No, I have it pulled up. I'll share. I'll share it with the.
Okay,
with the
never mind.
listeners.
Sorry, I'm sorry, podcast, for freaking out. I just thought.
No, this is my fault because
Educate me.
I led the podcast astray a couple weeks ago when I started to get on the Pitt wagon again and may or may not have predicted that College Game Day was coming.
No. How about you take your victory lap and say that, and just take it. I want you to.
Yeah,
take
we
it.
called this shit like 3 weeks ago. I said
Fuck
I have,
yeah.
I have a thing. If Pitt wins these next few games, College Game Day will be going to Pitt Notre Dame, and here we are. We also started pumping Pitt's tires early this year. Anyway, so Pitt right now, if they were to win out in the ACC, they would be 7-1 in the ACC. But they lose a three-way tie with SMU and Virginia due to the loss against Louisville that Virginia beat. And then SMU does SMU play Louisville?
They play them in 2 weeks.
Yeah. So SMU beating Louisville would then put SMU above Pitt as the common opponent loss. So Pitt needs to win out, and they also need to be in a three-way tie with SMU and Duke. So we need Duke to beat Virginia this week.
Huge game. We're gonna preview that.
And yeah, we need Duke to beat Virginia. We need a little bit of help, but like it should all
A
happen.
doable help, not
Well,
crazy.
Duke is a 5-point favorite, so
Yeah.
I like Duke in that
Yeah,
game.
they need a little bit of help. But for the listeners, that it has been said a lot, like around like Pittsburgh media as well, that Pitt controls their own destiny, and they technically don't. But it should, if they win the next two ACC games, they should be in. And this
Holy
game
shit.
does not matter this
Wait,
week.
dude.
everyone
Sam. Hypothetical. Pitt wins out but doesn't make the ACC championship. Are they in?
No,
Not with a Notre Dame loss.
No, they went out.
Yeah, they went out. Yeah, if they make the ACC
Right?
championship.
No, they
yeah.
don't make the ACC championship.
Oh, no.
it depends on what happens.
10-2
in the
Vandy
SEC.
versus 10-2 Pitt.
Yeah, but
Pitt's
Pitt's got
Vandy
wins
would
over
be-
West
Miami and
Virginia.
Notre
10-2
Dame.
Vandy.
But actually,
Pitt
no,
lost to
Miami
West
and Notre
Virginia.
Dame.
But they're a different. But they have a new quarterback. I think that would be a huge argument. Would be that how different their team. I mean, no, you beat Notre Dame. I think you're in. You have to be in.
And Miami. That's not a shitty win.
And Georgia Tech.
Dude, and Georgia Tech.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
the-
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
But the
You shouldn't have
West
been-
Virginia loss is bad.
Yeah, WVU,
It's
terrible.
horrible. That was before West Virginia was even like formidable. Now they don't look horrible.
All right. All right. Nice pit talk. I mean, at the end of the day, are we going to win out? Probably not, but it'd be fun. It's fun to talk
No
about.
chance.
Really? I think
Narduzzi
I
would
think
be
they're-
satisfied to lose by 100 next week.
Yeah, are you serious? I hated how he said that.
That was the
I
most
thought it was
loser thing I've ever
hilarious.
heard in my life.
Oh, the
Bro.
guy that asked him a question like before that, he mentioned that the last 2 times that Pitt played Notre Dame, like they lost by a combined whatever amount of points. So that's why he said
Yeah, it's a
if
bad
we lose by
context.
100, yeah. If
Thank
we
you,
lose by
Dustin.
like 110, yeah. Just want to add that
Yeah.
context. Also,
It's
still
really
though,
bad.
like
No.
still saying you'd be okay losing is always in any scenario wrong for a college head coach to do
And
that.
because your players, it doesn't matter what the stakes of the game are. Your players are playing Notre Dame in their house, and it matters no matter that it's not an ACC game. It
100%.
always matters. And the competitive spirit matters. Okay.
If we lose out, you think the Deuce Cruise is gone?
Ooh, good. I hope. And I hope we hire James Franklin. But that's
And
my
we should
dream.
hire Gruden. Gruden, like, loves
Why?
players.
Why would we hire Gruden, dude? What a
Another
dumb
barstool
idea.
for
You
you.
get
What?
recruits.
Yeah, literally. No, he
You would get
wouldn't.
recruits.
They said the same thing about Bill Belichick.
No.
No, Gruden's a
Dude,
little more
Gruden
personable
would not-
than Belichick.
Gruden
Dude,
would
I don't
not
care if he's
recruit
personable.
college football players.
Is he a yeah? Like,
I
is he
think
a
he
better
would.
coach?
Yes,
Dude,
he
I think
would.
He needs to be an
What are
OC.
you talking about? He would
People
absolutely.
love Gruden. Yeah.
Dude, he has a
I'm-
massive social media following. Like, he would 100% attract recruits.
Oh, dude,
with
social
Sam.
media following equals good football program.
Dude, okay.
Look
Oh,
at
is
his
that where
some
it
guy,
Look at his
some guy
interactions
from
with all the
Miami, Florida.
quarterbacks in the draft process. Like they all love John Gruden.
Duska, but I'm saying
Dude,
all
he
of
is getting
every
draft
coach,
picks,
dude,
or
every
getting recruits.
coach ever who's like a ball knower could do that. He's just like the one that does it publicly. So like,
Dude, no, he's.
But that's the
he's
same
al-
thing that he did
You
when he
can't
got
say he's
the
not
first time
also
he
like
left
the
coaching.
man. To,
no, I think he's the man. I'm just
Yeah.
saying like they could all wow you with the whiteboard and like do that. Like,
Dude, it's not just the whiteboard aspect. It's like the enthusiasm that he has about football. Like that's magnetic.
I mean, yeah, I mean, I know.
And like Bill Belichick, like
They're
he's not magnetic. He's the
completely
opposite
different people.
of magnetic.
I understand. I'm just saying, like, I hope we don't fucking hire John Gruden. I really don't. Dude, do you really think that's a good idea? Like somebody who
Like,
has
who
him, like,
would like? You'd rather have Narduzzi than Gruden?
Gruden.
that is a good question. But would you rather have James Franklin,
I
known
didn't
college
answer
football
the
program
question.
builder?
Would you rather have Narduzzi or Gruden?
Dude, Narduzzi.
And just
Yeah.
continue to go 7-5.
Well, no, that's not. But you're acting like those are the two options. The two options are fire him and pick of the litter, in which James Franklin would be a part of that litter.
Dude, he's not going to go to Pitt
Why?
because he's going to.
Why
either
would
Virginia
Gruden
Tech-
go to Pitt?
What? Good question. But dude,
He loves
is
Pitt.
is Pitt or Virginia Tech a better job? He loves Pitt.
VT.
By how much? I think James Franklin, that'd be sick if he went to Pitt.
He could do it out of like spite for Penn State.
Right? That'd be sick. You think there's zero chance, Tuska?
Yeah. Well, I don't think Narduzzi's getting fired, so I don't think it matters.
I
Yeah.
agree.
Well, I think we're going to win out and make the playoffs, so it doesn't really matter.
Also, yeah, they're not going 7-5 this year.
Yeah, 100%. Just hypothetically. I love it.
Yeah.
Dude, the rabbit holes are my favorite part of the show. So
7-6 is
had
still
him
in play
We
for
had him at
Pitt.
8-4.
Let the
We had him at
record show.
8-4 at the beginning on our first podcast, and people called us crazy. Here we are.
8-4 is very reasonable.
yeah, which is a good season. I would be happy with 8-4. Like,
But 7-6 is still in play.
and in that case, the Deuce Cruise maybe
A
shipwrecked.
7-5 Pitt versus a 6-6 Penn State bowl game would feed families.
Holy shit!
I would have to go wherever it's at.
What if they had it at like the link or something?
Yeah, what if it was like? No,
Is
what if
there
it was like?
I don't think there's a
what's
bowl
that-
at the link.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Maybe it's like the
what's
military
like-
bowl in
What's the
Annapolis.
dog shit bowl that we're always in? The tire, the like the one
Tax
in
Slayer.
No. The one in Detroit. It's like the.
Oh yes.
it's so
yeah.
bad.
Yeah. Like the Bell
Yeah,
Tire
it's
Bowl.
Oscars of
Goodyear
Max Bowl.
one.
Yeah.
Y'all lost last year, right?
Dude, we
No,
lost
no.
to Eastern Michigan
Pitt
one
versus
year.
Penn State in the Pinstripe Bowl.
Ooh, is that in
That'd
New
actually be
York?
sick. That would be sick.
Yeah, it's in no. I think that's in Boston. Is that in Fenway?
The Pinstripe Bowl is in New York
Yankee
City.
Stadium?
It's
I
at
think it's
Yankee
Yankee
Oh,
Stadium.
Stadium. Yeah. Oh, that
yeah,
kind of would be
ACC
electric.
versus Big Ten. That would be riveting.
All right, dude, I really hope Pitt's not 7-5 by that time. But all right, do you guys want to do RB of the week real quick,
Yeah, we can do that.
and then
Um,
I'll get the pick 'em up and running so we can just get that go through that real quick.
yeah, saddest running back of the week of all time. Everybody, this guy was not efficient, but he ran the ball enough for us to grant. This is charity, in any sense of the word. But, yes. So we have Army's quarterback this week. 36 carries, 118 yards, and 1 touchdown against Temple. Mainly, he had a 10-minute drive to end the football game to ice it. That's about the only good thing that we saw from the quarterbacks this week running the ball wise.
Byron Brown was also in contention, but he had already won. So
Also, it is Veterans Day, so shout out the troops, shout out Army. Yeah,
shout out
out
Mark
America.
Mill.
Shout
yeah.
out Mr. Middle.
Yeah, shout out Mark Mill as well.
Let's hope some quarterbacks run the ball a little more this week.
Yeah,
So.
if you guys don't want to do the math by yourself, Army's quarterback averaged 3.3 yards in a carry, so not efficient. But dude, just 3 yards in a cloud of dust, and they beat the Temple Owls and Casey Keeler. So
Hate that.
yeah, hate that. Let's do a little pick 'em. So, um, I was 3-1 this week on the pick 'em, and shame on me for thinking this was a Florida spot, even though my brother goes to the University of Kentucky. So I'm sorry, Jack. I should have just went with the family connection. I don't know why I thought to be logical and not emotional. I'm sorry. And then the next thing was I made an emotional play with Navy plus 26.5. I did not know Blake Horvath was not playing in the football game. So I forgive myself for those sins.
I'm gonna
Sam,
go out on a limb and say that Navy probably wouldn't have covered if he wasn't in the game.
you don't know that. Memphis can't. Sam. Yeah.
Sorry, I need to explain to the listeners that I was trying to go slightly against the grain with some of the picks to make up some ground. That unfortunately did not work. But
It's
it's
okay.
not over.
It is not over. You're right, Sam.
Couple 4-0 weeks and we're right back to
Fuck. Arch was 4-0.
Wait, is the bowl season like? Are we picking every game for that, and is that included in the pick'em record?
We can do a different one.
Yeah, no, that's different.
I feel like
Can we enlighten the fans on the back-to-back bowl pick'em champ though? Who thinking that I
How
messed
was you
up.
enlighten? Yeah, enlighten them.
didn't I
You
win
were
last year?
Did you win? I thought
I
I
think
won.
I did. I think I won last year.
Well, I'm going to pull it up right now so we don't have to lie.
Yeah.
I did win the first year. I know that for a fact.
Dude, but
Convincing.
one is different than back to back. Like that was different.
I thought I
All
had
right, keep
that.
going, Charlie.
No, okay, yeah. So Caleb was 4-0, sharp as a tack. Unfortunately, he has an addiction. And
Pulling away with it.
that addiction is betting on the Boston College Golden Eagles.
Dude, this is the third time this year. Like, actually, and every single time it looks so good until about midway through the second or third quarter, and they literally implode. It is a broken team, and it was their red bandana game, and they couldn't have cared less. So last year, Sperry won in 2023, just for clarification for the pick'em. 2024 bowl season.
Did we even tally it up?
Yeah, we did. Who is this? Sam Perry won.
Oh,
Sorry,
back to
false
Perry
back.
won
claim
at
by me.
61.
Wow.
Luke was in second last year, missed by 5. We had this March Madness against the spread one. We just need to delete that. We don't care about that.
I wasn't on that.
You were. We just didn't.
No,
We
I know.
made
I
it
just didn't fill it out.
Oh yeah, we did it until the looks like the Sweet 16. Let's
I
hide
liked
that
that
sheet.
one. That was fun.
NFL playoffs, we just didn't even do either.
Yeah,
hide that one. Yeah. So
college football bowl season pick'em is one of my favorite times of year.
Very fun.
also the
You have
pick'em is against the spread in the
yeah,
bowl
it's all
season.
ATS. It's all ATS.
And you're dealing with opt outs. You're dealing with teams that don't care.
So
You better bring it.
Real sicko.
we'll keep the playoffs in our pick'em and then do a separate bowl pick'em.
Yeah, let's do
Okay,
that.
that's fine.
We can
I
do
like that.
the bowl pick'em will be against the spread, and then the playoffs. Like we can do the pick'em. We can do straight up on the forward pass, and then we can even link the spreadsheets that the viewers we can post week by week bowl pick'ems. We'll see.
Wow. Our editor, I mean, just
Big
fabulous
things
ideas.
happening
Yeah.
Great ideas.
for the holidays.
Yeah. Watch out for a marketing intern on the way. T minus 4 weeks. All right. So Duska 3-1. And you should have also went with the Fighting Jack Mills.
Sure.
So shame on both of us. Northwestern plus 14.5. Put money on Preston Stone. That's your own fault. And except he actually played well against Penn State. But not. Who did Northwestern play out, by the way?
USC.
USC. It was Friday night game. They lost by like 20.
So it wasn't that
It
bad.
looked good. It was 14-14 before I went to bed, and then got ugly.
And for this week 12 pick'em, we need to find 4 unique games. I'm tired of picking with Virginia and Duke logos.
You don't want Virginia Duke?
I mean, I guess we can have it, but I swear, Virginia. I think Duke or Virginia has been on this thing like
Are we
1,000 times.
Are we doing Notre Dame Pitt? And are we
That's
doing like
it's 11
the
and a
big
half, dude. I might
Are we doing
super dog that.
the big ranked games or no?
We can do Texas, Georgia.
Yeah, let's do that.
Are we doing OU Alabama?
Let's do Iowa USC.
Okay, Iowa at USC, right?
Yeah. And then what about Arizona at Cincinnati? It's only
What
six
about
and a half.
We just did
Clemson,
Arizona last week.
Oh,
I
true.
would do Arizona.
What about Clemson Louisville? It's a 2.5-point spread.
The podcast is banned from picking Clemson.
I 100% agree, Arch. 100% agree, Arch.
They are dead.
I might pick Clemson in that game though.
Yeah, I agree, Duska.
We're not throwing that in there.
Oh, they're banned.
Yeah.
Or USC's -7.
And they're minus 6.5.
Same thing.
TCU BYU.
It's 4.5, right?
Yeah.
You're right, Arch. It is annoying the same ones, but
It's because all these teams suck in college
all
football.
right. I'm going against you, Arch. Let's put Clemson in this thing. Let's go Clemson Louisville. Let's do it.
Over who?
The band's off. You guys pick which one. Do you want it over Iowa USC or Arizona Cincinnati? Duska and Sam, you pick.
Are we not doing OU Alabama? In the pick'em?
We can do that.
I mean, that's like one of the bigger games of the week.
Yeah, it's the second biggest game of that.
All right, we'll
Okay.
put that over Iowa USC.
I mean, we should just have that on our pick'em graphic
Logo matchup.
just for engagement.
So
Engagement farming,
instead of Arizona Cincinnati, we're gonna do Virginia at Duke.
Yeah, I like that.
And then Virginia at Duke, we're gonna go Louisville. No, and then
Louisville, Clemson.
yeah,
We're
Louisville.
not picking Texas, Georgia.
No, we are.
It's
It's
already
on there.
We're gonna get
Wow, I'm gonna pick all
Riveting
these favorite-
podcasting going on here.
Yeah, terrible. All right, let's get back into podcasting. All right, we're back.
Get back to why we're here.
Yeah, let's get back to why we're here. Okay. Let's go. We're previewing right now. Some big games this week. We've got number 9, Notre Dame, an 11.5-point favorite going to Pittsburgh. Number 23, Pitt Panthers. It's a noon kick. College game day will be there. My sister, Madeline Mill, will be there. I wonder how many other friends and fam will have. Sam, do you know anybody boots BOG?
I believe my parents and sister are going to be going to the game.
Nice. Okay.
I believe.
So Perry and Mills will both
I'm
be.
sure a lot of people in our area will be.
Yes. Tuning
the
in.
Game.
Yeah, this one. It's gonna. CJ Carr, Mason Hines will kind of battle. The one thing Pitt does have is our front seven has looked very good this year. And if they continue to look very good, they're going to have to look good in this game. You're going against is it okay. Is it I always screw up some names, but I know it's Price and Jeremiah Love. Is it Jadavion Price?
Jadarian.
Jadarian, my bad. Uh so you got Price and Love in the backfield. You've got a multiple Notre Dame offense with Faison and Malachi Fields and some tight end production. So, um, Sam, what do the Pitt Panthers need to do to win this football game?
I think when we talk about the game on whatever day we do the podcast this week, or when people are talking about the game after the game, they're going to be saying, was Mason Heischnell able to make some of these backyard plays that he made in that Florida State game
Mhm.
that gave them the win? Is Pitt's offense going to be able to get theirs against the Notre Dame secondary that looked relatively weak to start the season?
Yes, they can be had.
Against they can be had. Obviously, it's gotten better as the competition has dwindled. Um, Pitt and Notre Dame both have played North Carolina State. Granted, we don't love the transitive property, but both had similar results. I think the key to the game is going to be, can Heischnell make some insane plays, and can Pitt get a turnover and win the turnover battle somehow?
I have
I
one. I have one more, dude. We got to
Yeah,
get Des Reed has to get
I
going.
look.
Whether that's through the air. The great thing is he's so multiple. So the coaching staff at Pitt can do whatever they want. They can use him as a slot receiver, use him receiving out of the backfield. They can run stretch. They can run screens. They can run up between the They can run between the tackles. Um, we can be very multiple with Des Reed, but he needs to get going. That is our best playmaker. That is our athlete that Notre Dame does not have on the field. And Pitt is not going to be more athletic in Notre Dame in a lot of different areas in the game, but that is a huge edge for us. We also have a good backup running back, number 25 as well. So I think like asking Mason to be a Superman is a little bit unrealistic. And like the game plan should be like, can we get him comfortable? And then if we get him comfortable, then like maybe he can make two plays that will just wow you. But I do think Des Reed is a huge factor in this game, and Kenny
I'm
Johnson and the fellas.
I'm excited to see how he handles out the outpouring of media attention that he's gotten in the past 2 weeks
Mhm.
and the pressure leading up to College Game Day. I think that's an underrated aspect of this game. The true
Yeah,
freshman quarterback handling some pressure. Well, how will our defense look? Are Lewis and Biles both good to go?
dude, Biles is amazing, and so is Lewis. So we need them
Like that
both to go.
linebacker core is going to be huge. And if we can stop Notre Dame's run game and
We don't even have
try
to stop it. It's the
like
big
just
explosives. It's like the
right.
70-yard run. Like that is what can happen because those are
Like
backbreakers.
we need to have I don't know how to just say this. I was going to say it like a controlled shootout type game, if that makes sense.
I like that. I like that. Yeah, yeah.
Like not to where like we can't have Notre Dame hitting multiple 50-yard gainers,
Mhm.
50-yard touchdowns, and then it's like, all right, we need to score again.
Yep,
But like
yep,
if
yep.
Notre Dame's moving down the field, fine. If we're moving down the field, fine. But we can't get into a catch up game where Notre Dame just establishes a run, gets up on us early, we can't stop the run, and then it's all on Heischnell to come
Mhm.
back. So Pitt really needs to control this game. It's going to be very difficult.
Yeah, yeah. It is going to be fun. Also, there's two really good defensive players on Notre Dame. Drake Bowen, he's number 34. He's their middle linebacker, and then you have Leonard Moore at cornerback, and he is locked down. So we will see kind of how those two guys affect the game. But again, neither of them, I don't think Drake Bowen's going to be able to cover uh, Des Reed. So we do have a little bit advantage. I like our running backs more than I like Notre Dame safeties with Schuler and the Virginia Tech transfer. So um, yeah, that's what I got. That's what I got. No, wait. Schuler is the Virginia Tech transfer. The other safety, I'm forgetting. I'm blanking on his name, but he's better. Anyway, you guys got anything?
Excellent breakdown, fellas. Um, I don't know. It's just hard for me. I mean, Pitt is a good football team. There's no disputing that. They're a good football team. I think there's a good chance that they can win the ACC. I think Notre Dame, they've really been finding it on the ground their last few games. Um, they've just looked really good since their first two losses. CJ Carr, I'd say, has been coming along nicely and developing for a guy starting in his first season. And they just have weapons all over the place on offense. And I just think that it's going to be hard for Pitt to answer scores as much as Notre Dame's going to test them and make them in this game. And I just think Notre Dame's going to be able to get downhill. They have two RB1s on their team, and just the odds are stat. I mean, you can see it in the spread. The odds are. I don't have to spell it out. Like the odds are
Yeah.
stacked
Yeah.
against Pitt in this game.
Mhm.
But I mean, this is a pro Panther podcast without a shadow of a doubt. So, I mean, we'll
Shrug.
roll the ball out there and we'll see what happens.
Let me rescind one of my statements I made. I said I was actually right the first time. Schuler is the sophomore Notre Dame guy, Notre Dame safety number 8, who's awesome. But I do think Jalen Stroman, the Virginia Tech transfer, it's Schuler and Stroman, so I messed up those names. But I do think he can be had. He can be had in coverage. So I'd like us to attack that matchup. He struggled against Malachi Tony at who's my
The
guy?
A&M receivers got very
Concepcion
vertical.
and
Yeah, Craver.
Mario Craver. So
Yeah.
and those guys are really good. So
Yeah.
but I do Des Reed
Those guys are
is
fast.
but Des Reed is almost as good as those guys at playmaking wise.
Yeah.
So Arch,
Yeah, I mean, y'all done a pretty good breakdown. Interested to see Pitt's linebackers and front seven matching up versus Notre Dame's O line and running backs. I mean, Notre Dame's two running backs are like a two-headed monster, probably the best duo in the country. Probably two of the top 25 running backs in the country. So it's not going to be easy. Interested to see how Pitt kind of elevates their competition level. Because this is probably the toughest team they've played all year, I would say.
Yeah,
Trying to think of
Louisville.
Pitt's schedule. Yeah,
Louisville.
I would say this is the toughest. So it's going to be a good matchup for him. Like I said, I've been huge Des Reed guy. I think I said it a few weeks ago that he's such a good playmaker, and it's huge for him to get back. So I think if you get him, like if you can exploit Notre Dame's defense, like Miami's running backs did, A&M's running backs did against Notre Dame, I think that would be huge for Pitt's overall success. Because if you let it all on Heischel, I believe, I think I pronounced that right, against a Notre Dame team that's defense was kind of young. Their defense kind of settled in as of late with the new DC. I don't think that's a good recipe for them, but excited to see this game. Two kind of a helmet matchups, like a good helmet matchup. I guess. I mean, Pitt's kind of always been a pretty good, historically good program. So,
It's a sneaky rivalry game.
yeah,
yeah.
definitely.
So I mean,
I used to
it'll
go to
be
any time Pitt played at Notre Dame. Notre Dame played in Pitt. I've been to 2 of those games as a kid. So
yeah. So I'm interested to
Another
see how
thing,
Pitt
crowd
does.
dynamic will be interesting.
yeah, I wonder how Pittsburgh shows up.
Yeah, I don't know. I think there's gonna be
Usually
a
average. It'll
lot of
probably be
Notre Dame fans.
50-50.
I'm sure there's a lot of Notre Dame fans in that area as
A
well.
lot of
I
Irish
agree with
Catholic
Charlie. I
and
think it's gonna be
Yeah.
like 60-40 Pitt.
yeah, it'll be pretty a lot. You'll see a lot of Notre Dame buzz in the building. But
Yeah.
I wonder, are the Steelers home next week? Because their grass is going to be
Yes, they are.
murdered.
Yes,
Ooh.
they are.
I mean, this grass is going to look horrible on Sunday. Let me tell you guys, Heinz Field.
Well, it's not gonna help it. I mean, it's not like our offense is gonna be moving well on it anyway. So
I mean,
Aaron Rodgers is going to start.
Pretty JV operation out of Pittsburgh, the city, for Pitt and the Steelers to have home games in the same weekends. It's
I gotta
kind of
play the
crazy
Bengals,
that an
too.
NFL team is does that on that playing surface.
What'd you say? What'd you say, Arch?
I was saying there, y'all play the Bengals too. Big rivalry game,
Is Flacco starting?
I would assume.
Dude, Lord have mercy. I hate playing Flacco. He just dimes us up.
The
Okay.
Thursday night game was pretty sick.
Yeah, that was sick for the
yeah,
Bengals.
that's awesome. We're really good.
All right. Pick you guys. I want you guys to look at the previews. I want you to pick one game and give me your thoughts. Whoever feels convicted first, go.
Well, Arch should give us a little Texas, Georgia.
Yeah, Georgia's first kind of all-around dominant performance, I guess I would say, other than, I mean, they did start down, was Mississippi State last week. Georgia's finding it at the right time, I think. I think their defense is definitely evolving. They start very slow, as we've seen the last 2 years on defense, but Gunnar Stockton's coming into his own. Noah Thomas, the A&M transfer that I was raving about a few weeks
Dude,
ago,
love Noah Thomas.
he had a great catch and run against Mississippi State
Yeah.
on Saturday. Broke like 3 or 4 tackles. I mean, it was also a great play from Gunner. It was like a fake toss, kind of like it was something. Mike Bobo's been in his bag for Georgia. I expect that to stay the same this year or this week. Texas is kind of finding it at the right time too. Arch is coming into his own. Interested to see how he does versus because Georgia had Texas's number last year. Somehow that was the only number we did have. Interesting to see if that transitions to this year. Weird spread at 6.5. I'm excited to see how CJ Allen does. Georgia's linebacker. I raved about him last week, I believe. He's
Tackle
so
leader,
good.
leader of the in tackles in the SEC was like 78, I think.
Yeah, he is so good. Interested to see how he does versus Texas's running back. Also, he's going to be huge versus Arch Manning's ground game and scrambles. Yeah, I think this is going to be an awesome game. I'm excited to watch. I'm not really nervous as a Georgia fan I know Texas is peaking at the right time, but I think that Georgia has what it takes to take advantage of Texas. And yeah, I'm expecting a good game, and I'm expecting I think Georgia's going to be able to run the ball like they broke out kind of last week with Frazier. So I think that's going to be huge. That's going to be a key for Georgia to avoid the pass rush of Colin Simmons and Texas's other edges and defense as a whole. But I like the spot for Georgia here, and I think that we take care of business and get another SEC win versus Texas.
If I'm not mistaken, this is Georgia's last SEC game, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I think that also plays a factor here. Um, I basically agree with everything you said, Arch. It's hard for me to like think of a way that we've talked about this all year. It's hard for me to think of a way that Texas is able to find an edge in this game.
Nibble it. Like it's got to be the return game.
Yeah, is it a big special teams touchdown, like a big Georgia turnover? But like Georgia doesn't turn the ball over a lot. They run the ball really well. And I think the defense has been on an upward trajectory all season. And it's a home game.
Arch masterclass can be the other way.
Yeah, which we haven't seen.
No,
I
we
mean,
haven't.
he played well against Vandy, but we haven't seen the Arch masterclass, and it would be a tough. I mean, it'd be pretty legendary if he did it in Sanford Stadium. But are we really banking on that
No.
for Texas? So it's just hard for me to find an edge for Texas and an area where I really think they can exploit a piece of Georgia, especially with how Georgia has been developing as the season has progressed. This team is just like they play a complete game,
They also
and
play ahead of the sticks. And that is a
yes,
huge,
100%.
and that's a great way to not let the Texas edges and College Simmons pin their ears back. And I do give them so much credit because Bowens and Frazier and and Zachariah Branch, who's like an extension of their run game, with all the quick hitters that they give him and their tight ends, like they stay ahead of the sticks, which makes it really hard to just like run Georgia out of the building.
And I think Georgia's found a little more consistency in pass protection as well. I think it's been I mean, Arch can speak to it more, but I think it's been a lot better since Ernest Green came back, and then Juan Gaston has gotten a lot more reps. He's a true freshman, and he's a stud too. Like the team is getting a lot better, and the place they started at and was like the ceiling was pretty high in the first place. So I just think this Georgia team they've been battle tested. They've worked through an entire SEC schedule already, and I don't think Texas has been tested to the extent they have, and I think that matters, especially when they're on the road. And I think that's why Georgia is able to pull it off and finish their SEC schedule
Yeah.
strong.
Yeah, go Dogs.
Yeah.
It's my national champ.
One thing I'd like to add, Georgia's pretty banged up in the secondary. We had two corners go down versus Mississippi State.
Who?
So if you're trying to find like an it was DeMello Jones. He's like the other corner, and then Ellis Robinson kind of went down for a little bit. Who's like the corner 2 and 3 kind of.
Is Bolden
So
still hurt?
no, he's back. He was
He's
out
back.
for targeting, and he
Oh,
almost
okay,
got
okay.
ejected for targeting the first quarter right after getting back.
Did
But,
Zion Branch play more in the Mississippi State game? I didn't get to see.
yeah,
He is. Zion
yeah.
is.
Yeah, he's played a lot more. He's kind of taken over, or he's gotten a lot more reps over the guy that gave the touchdown versus Florida.
Nice.
But if I'm saying if Texas has an avenue to win, it's going to be our arch finding success against a beaten up secondary for Georgia, which I could definitely. I mean, Wingo's probably going to have his day. He'll probably have 100 yards. Georgia's corner one, shout out Dalen Everett, it's been locked down this year. Corner two, on the other hand, has been a lot. There's been a lot to be desired on the Georgia front. So Texas is probably going to get theirs. Sark's probably going to dial up some plays, but it doesn't matter.
All right, I like it. Sam, do you want to do Oklahoma Bama?
Yeah, something quick about the Texas game. I think it's gonna be interesting to see Arch in another one of these big spots. Just like the Ohio State game was the first time he was on like the big national stage, and it feels like he hasn't really been. I mean, I guess in Red River, but this seat feels like the second, like his not a do-over almost, but his second chance to show how far he's come throughout the year. So I'm just interested to see his progression and how he looks in that big primetime spot. Um, yeah, Bama, Oklahoma don't have a whole lot here. I mean, Oklahoma's playing for their college football playoff lives. Bama revenge from last year. 3:30 kick on ABC. That'll be McDonough calling the game, I'd assume.
And
Um,
it's a sneaky, awesome coaching matchup. So Brent Venables has the best. They're the best defense in the SEC. Oklahoma's defense, um, statistically. And then you go. So it's Brent Venables against known wizard Kalen DeBoer and Ryan Grubbs. So I think that's the most interesting part of this game. And I'd like to see, and the quarterback dynamic is also fun here. Mateer versus Ty Simpson. So that's two fun matchups going into this game.
yeah, I also think Bama's defense has improved a lot in the past few weeks. They played really well last week against LSU. Granted, like every defense has looked good against LSU for the most part, but I'm really excited to see how they handle Mateer because
As
he's
he
going
gets
to be
healthier.
right as Mateer continues to improve. This is just going to be a fun game, like you mentioned, Charlie. I liked how this kind of reminds me of the Ole Miss Oklahoma game, which was a really fun watch.
Mm-hmm.
I think this will be as well.
Yep.
I think that this is going to be the true sign of has Bama completely turned the corner with DeBoer? Like, are they finally going to be able to put their foot down and establish themselves as an elite team? I had a couple close calls recently, but revenge from last year, this would all but clinch them their playoff spot. Granted, they probably are in no matter what, but this would be the exclamation point on what has been an awesome turnaround from game one
Yeah.
in Florida State. So,
Also,
like, really interested to see how Bama, if they can complete the turnaround.
Jeremy Bernard, the Bama receiver, he's number 5, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he is
Okay.
insane.
Number 5 versus number 5 matchup. You got Isaiah Satania, Oklahoma's best receiver, versus Jeremy Bernard, who's been Alabama's best receiver. Another fascinating matchup because both those guys are burners, who are just ballers. So gamer
Yeah, a lot
players.
of big talent, a lot of talent on this, like a lot of big talented names squaring off here, which is cool. Ty Simpson and Mateer
Yeah.
quarterback battle will be really fun.
Yeah.
I think people are starting to realize how good Ty Simpson is the past few weeks.
Yeah, no doubt. And I think we've talked about it before. Kalen DeBoer is just a big game hunter. So a name like Brent Venables, a guy that's known for being a defensive guru, like these are usually the games that DeBoer really flashes his offensive chops. Granted, they did lose to Oklahoma last year, but I think that plays into Bama's favor this year. They're not gonna they're gonna be up for this game. They're gonna want to get revenge from last year. I think everything is aligning for Alabama to be in a good position to win. Um, so with all that, it's for me, it's hard to find a way that Oklahoma is able to score enough to win because granted both teams are not great at rushing the football, but I think Alabama has found a lot better ways to mask their inability to run as opposed to Oklahoma. We've seen the offense really, really struggle when there's no semblance of a run game and they can't really protect that well and give Mateer time to operate. Which is like we saw that in Red River. I think Mateer was a little hurt in that one. He's definitely probably healthier now going into this game, but I just think a lot of things are lining up in Bama's favor and that they'll be able to take advantage of some of those areas of OU that we've seen struggle. Another thing is the secondary too. Arch talked about it when we recapped the when Oklahoma lost to Old Miss that the front seven was making up for a lot of potential vulnerabilities that they had on the back end, and I think that plays into Alabama's favor pretty well
Yep.
with the receiving core they have. So there's just a lot of advantages that Alabama has in this game, and with them losing to Oklahoma last year, like they're not going to get snuck up on um, in this one because Oklahoma is also pretty highly ranked. So it'll be a good game though. I'm excited.
Arch, do you want to hit a little Iowa USC for us? Oh wait, hey, mute, unmute, unmute.
Yeah, I can do that. My apologies.
All good.
So I believe this is a USC team off of a bye. No, I lied. They just played Northwestern, essentially bye. And then Iowa, after a grueling kind of gut punch loss to Oregon, where you kind of threw all you were trying to obviously you were trying to win every game, but that was like your shot at home to make a statement. Interested to see how that affects a team traveling west. I know last year it was affecting these teams to go east to west. That was also the first year in the conference. Interested to see how that works. Um, it's kind of I'm going to be interested to see. I think Maeva is better than Dante Moore at this. He's played better, I think, as of late. So I think that I think USC's receivers are going to be much better than Oregon's because Oregon had a really depleted receiving core, kind of basing what Iowa and Oregon's game last week. I think Makai Lemon is poised for a pretty big game here. I
You
think
think?
Iowa's going to have, yeah, I think
I
so.
I think this is a game where Iowa's gonna make Iowa's gonna Mike Tomlin the Trojans and just say beat us with somebody else. Um,
I could see that. But
you
I
know what I'm
mean,
saying?
if
Like,
you do that,
no, I think it's a Jacoby Lane game
yeah.
is basically my thing. Is I think Jacoby Lane is gonna be left on an island to go make plays, and they're going to try to do their damnedest to stop Makai Lemon. And he might still get loose because that's my favorite receiver.
Northwestern kind of tried that too. Didn't really work out.
No. But dude, Northwestern is far worse than Iowa. So,
No doubt about that.
but yeah, I mean, the thing is, Makai Lemon is so awesome at receiver that there's not a lot that you can do to stop the ball from getting in his hands. What you can do is tackle better and try to put a top on the defense. So Makai Lemon can still hurt you by having 10 receptions for 90 yards and having four big third down catches. Like that's why he's so elite. But I do think they're going to try to do their best um, to stop that. And but Jacoby Lane is really good too. So I look out for him because he averages 16 yards a catch. So yeah,
Yeah, I mean, so interested to see how USC kind of matches physicality of a Big Ten West-esque team. They matched it really well when they played Michigan a few weeks ago. Kind of dominated that game, and I think pretty comparable fronts kind of body wise with Michigan and Iowa. So I think if USC had success there, you have to imagine they can have success against Iowa. So yeah, I think that Iowa is going to be in a letdown spot, kind of drained after that kind of tough loss to Oregon as time expires. So I like the Trojans here to make another statement and kind of assert themselves as that fourth, I guess, fourth Big Ten team that's still going to be alive for the hunt of the playoff.
All right. I think that's we're going to stop it here, fellas.
We're not
So,
doing a Virginia Duke preview.
we can do a quick one if you want. How about you
I
go
mean,
for it?
just quick.
Yeah.
Um, I'm not sure if Chandler Morris is going to play, but regardless of whether he plays or not, I think that Virginia, we knew it was going to dry up eventually, and we knew the dam was going to break, and that them getting away with so many close games was going to come back to haunt them at some point. And you saw that if Chandler Morris doesn't play, their backup quarterback certainly didn't offer a
Mhm.
ton to be encouraged about uh, offensively. And I think that the caliber of offense that Duke has compared to some other teams that Virginia has played and taken advantage of a little bit more defensively, I think that Duke is a bit higher caliber with Darian Mensah. So I really like this spot for Duke, especially home game. They just lost to UConn, so they have a lot to prove in this one after falling. UConn's not a bad team, but it's certainly a game that you'd think Duke should win. So I think Duke has responded well after getting beaten this year. See Tulane and Illinois. Um, so I like this spot for Duke. But this is a really big game for the ACC standings and the ACC chaos that has been ensuing. So it's going to be fun. Another 3:30 kick. So it's got a lot to compete with in the
Yeah.
slate, but it's going to be a fun game.
I got two things for Duke this game. One, yesterday, the one thing I did like about Duke last week was they got the ball in Jeremiah Hazley's hands. He was their leading receiver with the touchdown. So I like Jeremiah Hazley again this week. I also like Cooper Barcade getting loose.
Yeah,
Um,
no doubt.
and so let's get Mensa going. And I like that breakdown, Duska. I'm gonna give my quick thoughts on the South Florida Navy game, and then we can be done here. But Pete Samuel said there's optimism Blake Horvath plays this week. We need Blake Horvath to play. If not, it's over. So our defense is not great, but we got to score points. Got to get Heidenreich going. Got to get Tessa going. Got to get Chapman going. Got to try and help a threat of vertical pass game. So let's do it. Make the right reads. But you guys got anything else if for the better good of the pod?
Go Mids.
Veterans Day spot for the mids. So.
Huge.
But guys, thank you so much for tuning in to this week's episode of the Forward Pass Pod. Be sure to tune in to the Instagram where our editor does amazing things on the Instagram channel. Yeah, the Forward Pass Podcast on Instagram, or is it the Forward Pass Pod?
The forward pass.
Just the forward pass.
The Forward Pass. So on the Instagram, check us out.
Verify it.
Subscribe to the podcast as well, whether on Spotify, Apple Podcast, or YouTube. Help us out so we can get the tour on the road in 2026 or 2027. Anybody else got anything else?
Hail to Pitt.
H2P.
Actually, I